Change your wealth blueprint in 30 days. Joseph Murphy. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others work hard their whole lives and still struggle? It's not always about talent, luck, or even education. What really shapes your financial life is something most people never pay attention to: the hidden blueprint in your subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy, one of the greatest teachers of the mind, revealed a simple but powerful truth. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you keep seeing the same money problems repeat themselves, it's not bad luck. It's the result of deeply rooted mental conditioning, thoughts, emotions, and beliefs you may not even be aware of. But the best part is, you can change it. Over the next 30 days, we're going to shift your entire wealth blueprint. Together, we'll uncover how your subconscious has been silently running your financial life and learn how to reprogram it for prosperity. We'll start by breaking free from the myth of scarcity, the idea that there isn't enough for everyone. You'll see that abundance is actually a natural law. Then we'll dive into how repeated thoughts create your reality and why emotions are like magnets that either pull in wealth or push it away. You'll discover how visualization can rewire your mind to accept wealth as normal, why your words have the power to shape your financial future, and how faith in the infinite supply of the universe removes fear and struggle. We'll also address the hidden blocks that keep most people stuck, like guilt about money or feeling unworthy of success. You'll learn how to forgive yourself, release past mistakes, and open the flow of abundance. And you'll see why circulating money with joy attracts even more back to you. Joseph Murphy taught a simple but life-changing practice called the sleep method, where you impress new thoughts into your subconscious right before bed, so they work for you even while you're sleeping. We'll use this nightly reprogramming to make the process effortless. Along the way, you'll build daily rituals to stay aligned with wealth, discover how to unlock inspired ideas from the infinite mind, and step into the powerful state of living as if the money is already here. By the end, you won't just be thinking differently, you'll feel different. And that shift in feeling is what creates real change. This isn't just theory. It's a step-by-step journey to transform your relationship with money from the inside out. If you follow it, you'll notice changes in your mindset, your emotions, and even the opportunities that start to appear in your life. So if you're ready to stop struggling and start living in the flow of prosperity, stay with me. In the next videos, we'll unlock each of these steps in detail and help you create a new wealth blueprint that lasts for life. Because abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you align with. And it all begins in your mind. The subconscious blueprint of wealth. Let's begin with a simple but profound idea. Your mind is the blueprint of your life. Think of an architect designing a house. The walls, the windows, the rooms, every tiny detail, before it's ever built in the physical world, it's created first in the mind. In the same way, your financial life, the way money flows to you or slips away from you, is designed and built by the hidden blueprint inside your subconscious mind. Most people believe their financial situation is the result of external forces, the economy, their job, their upbringing, or even luck. But here's the truth Joseph Murphy revealed. Your life is a mirror of your thoughts. Your conscious mind plants the seeds, but it's your subconscious that grows them into reality. Let's make this simple. Right now, take a moment and think about your financial patterns. Do you constantly feel like money slips through your fingers no matter how much you earn? Do you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, or do you hit a certain income level and somehow never seem to go beyond it? Maybe you've noticed you attract sudden windfalls of money, only to lose them just as quickly. Here's the key insight. This is not random, and it's not bad luck. It's mental conditioning. From the time you were a child, your subconscious has been recording every belief you've absorbed about money. Maybe you heard your parents say things like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "We can't afford that," or "Rich people are greedy." Maybe you saw people in your family constantly worried about bills or fighting over finances. Even without realizing it, those words and emotions left an imprint on you. And because the subconscious mind doesn't filter or question, it simply accepts what it hears over and over. It took those ideas and filed them as truth. So now, as an adult, you may consciously want to be wealthy. You may work hard, set goals, and dream of financial freedom. But if deep down your subconscious blueprint says money is hard to get, or "I'm not the kind of person who can be rich," or "If I have too much, people will judge me," then your subconscious will quietly sabotage your efforts. It's like planting seeds in rocky soil. No matter how much you water and care for them, they won't grow the way you expect. Joseph Murphy explained it beautifully when he said, "You are the master of your fate by mastering your mind." Until you take control of the blueprint, life will keep repeating the same patterns over and over. Think of someone who wins the lottery. You've heard the stories. Within a few years, they're often back to where they started, sometimes even worse. Why? Because the sudden wealth didn't match their inner blueprint. They may have believed deep down that they didn't deserve it, or that money is bad, or that it won't last. So their subconscious simply adjusted their life back to the level it's programmed for. On the other hand, look at self-made millionaires who've lost everything and rebuilt their fortune again. How? Because their inner blueprint was programmed for wealth. Even when they hit rock bottom, their subconscious mind found ways to attract new opportunities and restore what was lost. So the question becomes, how do you know what your financial blueprint really is? It's simple. Look at your life. Your current results tell you exactly what your subconscious believes to be true about money. If money feels scarce, if you constantly worry about bills, if you feel guilty for wanting more, or if you secretly believe you're not worthy of abundance, those are clues to the hidden programming. But here's the liberating part. Just as a blueprint can be changed before building a house, your subconscious blueprint can be rewritten. You don't have to live by the old conditioning you absorbed as a child or through past failures. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious is like fertile soil. It doesn't care what seeds you plant, whether they're weeds of fear and lack or seeds of prosperity and confidence. Whatever you repeatedly plant with thought and feeling, it will grow. So, the first step to changing your wealth blueprint is awareness. You must recognize that your outer financial life is not fixed. It's not controlled by chance. It's the result of repeated inner patterns. Imagine your subconscious mind as a faithful servant. It doesn't argue. It doesn't reason. It simply takes whatever orders you give it, especially the orders that come with strong emotion. If you constantly say, "I'm broke, I can't afford this, money is hard to come by," your subconscious accepts that as your reality and creates circumstances to match it. But if you begin to plant new thoughts like "money flows to me easily, abundance is my natural state, I deserve financial freedom," your subconscious will just as faithfully create ways for those truths to express in your life. Joseph Murphy often said, "Change your thoughts, and you change your destiny." Now, let's be honest. At first, it may feel strange or even uncomfortable to think wealthy thoughts if you're used to thinking from a place of lack. But remember, your current blueprint wasn't built in a day. It was formed through repetition over years. So you change it the same way, through repetition, emotion, and belief. This is why in the next segments, we'll go deeper into practical methods, how to break the myth of scarcity, how to feel wealthy even before the money shows up, how to use visualization, affirmations, and even the moments before sleep to plant powerful new ideas in your subconscious. But for now, here's the key takeaway. You're not a victim of your financial life. You are the creator. Every pattern you've experienced so far is just a reflection of an old mental design. And like any design, it can be updated. You can release the old blueprint of struggle and replace it with a blueprint of ease, flow, and abundance. So pause for a moment. Close your eyes and think about this. If your subconscious mind accepted only one new truth starting today, that you are worthy of wealth, that money is a natural and effortless part of your life, how different would your world look in the next 30 days? This is where your transformation begins. Breaking the myth of scarcity. Let's talk about one of the biggest illusions that keeps people trapped in financial struggle, the myth of scarcity. From the moment we're born, society teaches us that there's not enough. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough opportunities. We hear it everywhere. Parents say, "We can't afford that." Teachers warn us that you have to work hard because the world is competitive. News headlines constantly shout about economic crises, rising prices, and how tough life is. Over time, these messages sink in. Without even realizing it, we start to believe that life is a fight for limited resources. We look around and think there's only a small pie, and if someone else gets a bigger slice, it means there's less for us. But is that really true? Let's pause and look at nature for a moment. The sun doesn't ration its light. It shines endlessly. The ocean doesn't say, "I've run out of water today." The earth never says, "I can't grow more trees because I've already given enough." The universe is designed on principles of expansion and abundance. Joseph Murphy said, "Abundance is a universal law. It is not created by man. It is a spiritual truth." Think about it. The air you breathe is unlimited. The ideas your mind can generate are unlimited. Even wealth itself is not a fixed amount. It's constantly created and recreated through human creativity, innovation, and trade. There's no shortage of money in the world. There's only a shortage of awareness about how much is available. So why do so many people still feel lack? Because scarcity is not about what's really out there. It's about what's programmed in here in your mind. When you grow up hearing messages of fear and limitation, you start to see the world through a lens of not enough. Your subconscious accepts it as truth and shapes your experience accordingly. If you believe there's never enough money, you'll always find yourself in situations where money seems to run out. If you believe opportunities are rare, you won't even notice the doors that are already open to you. This is why two people can live in the same city in the same economy, with the same resources, yet have completely different financial realities. One sees endless possibilities, the other only sees obstacles. It's not about the outer world, it's about the inner belief system. So let's flip the script. Abundance is not a privilege for a chosen few. It's not something that belongs only to the rich, the lucky, or the highly educated. It's a law of life. Just like gravity, it doesn't pick favorites. It's available to anyone who aligns with it. When you understand this, your relationship with money changes completely. You stop thinking, how can I get my share before it runs out? And you start thinking, how can I align with the infinite flow that's already here? Joseph Murphy taught that your subconscious mind is like a pipeline that connects you to the infinite supply of the universe. If the pipe is clogged with fear, doubt, and scarcity thinking, the flow is blocked. But if you clear those limiting beliefs, you open yourself to receive more than you ever imagined. Here's something powerful to remember. Someone else's wealth does not take away from yours. If your neighbor gets a raise, if your friend starts a successful business, if a stranger becomes a millionaire, it doesn't reduce what's available to you. In fact, their success is proof that abundance is real. And when you celebrate it instead of envying it, you align yourself with the same vibration of prosperity. So how do you replace scarcity thinking with the truth of plenty? Start by noticing your language. Do you often say things like, I can't afford that, money is tight, or life is hard? Those words are like commands to your subconscious mind. Instead, gently shift them. Say, money is circulating in my life. Opportunities are always coming to me. I live in a universe of infinite supply. Next, look for evidence of abundance around you. It's everywhere. The endless stars in the night sky, the constant flow of water in rivers, the endless ways people create new businesses, inventions, and art. When you really pay attention, you'll see that the world is overflowing with more than enough. Another powerful practice is gratitude. When you focus on what you already have, no matter how small, you amplify it. Gratitude shifts your vibration from there's not enough to I already have plenty, and this opens the door for even more. And finally, remind yourself daily that you are connected to an infinite source. Money is just one channel through which abundance flows. If one door closes, another will open. Your supply doesn't depend on one job, one person, or one situation. It comes from something far greater, the creative intelligence of life itself. So right now, take a deep breath and let this sink in. You are not in competition with anyone. There is more than enough for you, always. And I want you to imagine how your life would change if you truly believe that. If you woke up tomorrow knowing with absolute certainty that there is no shortage of money, opportunities, or resources, that everything you need is already available, waiting for you to claim it. How would you think differently? How would you act differently? This is the shift we're making together. From fear to trust. From limitation to expansion. From scarcity to abundance. Now, before we move forward, type in a comment. Tell me where you're watching from and what time it is there. I'm curious to know how far this message is reaching. The science of prosperity thinking. One of the most powerful truths about your mind. Your thoughts are not just passing ideas. They are creative forces. Every single thought you think leaves an impression on your subconscious mind. And here's the key. What you impress upon the subconscious, it expresses in your life. This is why Joseph Murphy often said, your subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it, good or bad, will grow. So let's break this down in simple terms. Your conscious mind, the part of you that's aware, logical, and analytical, is like a gardener. It selects the seeds. Those seeds are your thoughts. When you repeat a thought often enough with emotion, your conscious mind plants it in the soil of the subconscious. Now, your subconscious mind doesn't argue, judge, or filter. It doesn't say this is a good seed, let's grow it, or this is a bad seed, let's reject it. It simply accepts whatever you give it and works tirelessly to bring it into reality. So if you constantly think, money is hard to get, I never have enough, I'm always struggling, those thoughts sink into the subconscious, become beliefs, and then show up as experiences. You'll unconsciously make decisions, take actions, and even attract situations that match that inner truth. But here's the liberating part. This works both ways. If you consciously choose thoughts like money flows to me easily, I am worthy of abundance, I always have more than enough, your subconscious will accept those too. It will reorganize your mental habits, your emotional state, and even the opportunities around you to align with that new reality. It sounds simple, right? And it is. But most people don't realize how much of their thinking runs on autopilot. Studies have shown that the average person has tens of thousands of thoughts per day, and most of them are repetitive. If yesterday you worried about bills, today you're likely thinking the same worry again. If you believed as a child that money is scarce, you're probably still replaying that story in the background of your mind. So here's the science of prosperity thinking in one sentence. Your dominant thoughts become your beliefs. and your beliefs become your reality. This is why Joseph Murphy emphasized the power of repetition and feeling. A single thought doesn't have much power, but a thought you repeat daily with emotion becomes a belief. And once it's a belief, it's like a program that quietly runs your life. Think of your mind like a computer. The subconscious is the operating system. If the program says I'm always broke, the system will keep creating that reality, no matter how many temporary fixes you try. But if you install a new program, I am prosperous, money flows to me with ease, the whole system starts to operate differently. So how do you shift from poverty thinking to prosperity thinking? Joseph Murphy taught a very simple but effective practice: affirmations. Now, affirmations aren't just empty words. They're mental commands. When you say an affirmation with calm confidence, especially in a relaxed state, you're impressing it onto the subconscious. For example, instead of thinking, I can't pay my bills, you gently repeat, I always have more than enough to meet every need. Instead of worrying, I don't know how to make more money, you affirm, new opportunities are constantly appearing for me. My income is always increasing. But there's a key here. You don't have to force it or shout it. Joseph Murphy always emphasized that your subconscious responds best to gentle, relaxed, confident repetition. The more calm and natural it feels, the more easily it's accepted. One powerful method he suggested is the sleep technique. Right before you drift off at night, your conscious mind is relaxed and your subconscious is wide open. This is the perfect time to impress new ideas. So at night, instead of replaying worries, you simply say to yourself softly, I'm grateful for the wealth that flows to me. I am prosperous. I am always provided for. As you fall asleep, those thoughts sink deeply into your subconscious and begin working for you, even as you rest. Another effective approach is what Joseph Murphy called the mirror method. In the morning, stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and calmly affirm your new truth. Say something like, I am worthy of abundance. I am open to unlimited prosperity. Wealth is flowing me now. When you combine the spoken word with seeing yourself, it makes the affirmation more real to your subconscious. Now, at this point, some people say, but what if I don't believe it yet? Will my mind reject it? Here's the secret. You don't have to force belief. You only need to repeat it consistently and calmly. Over time, the repetition will soften your old beliefs. Think of it like water dripping on stone. Slowly but surely, it reshapes it. And remember this, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you keep feeding it a new idea with feeling, it will accept it. Here's an example. Suppose for years you've been thinking, I'm terrible with money. That belief probably shows up as overspending, missed opportunities, or constant financial stress. But if you begin to daily affirm, I am wise with money. I always make good financial decisions. Money comes easily to me. Over time, your subconscious will adjust. You'll naturally feel calmer, notice better choices, and attract situations that support your new belief. Joseph Murphy compared this to planting seeds in a garden. You don't plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow to see if it's working. You plant it, water it, give it sunlight, and trust that it's growing beneath the surface. Affirmations and prosperity thinking work the same way. So the key steps are simple. Observe your dominant thoughts. Are they rooted in fear or abundance? Consciously choose new thoughts. Plant the seeds you want to grow. Repeat them gently with emotion, especially before sleep or in quiet moments. Trust the process. The subconscious never fails to bring forth what you repeatedly impress upon it. And here's something to remember. It's not about obsessively thinking positive all day. It's about creating a gentle but consistent shift in your mental atmosphere. Over time, your dominant vibration changes and your reality follows. This is the real science of prosperity thinking. It's not magic. It's simply how the mind works. What you feed it regularly, it will express. So as you move forward, begin to watch your inner dialogue. If you catch yourself thinking thoughts of lack, gently replace them with thoughts of plenty. Instead of, I can't afford this, say, there's always more where that came from. Instead of, I'm stuck, say, life is opening new doors for me every day. Over weeks and months, this subtle but powerful shift will change the way you feel about money. And when you feel differently, you'll act differently, and your results will naturally align with that new state. Emotional magnetism, feeling wealthy now. Beyond just thinking about wealth, thoughts are powerful, yes, but they're only half the story. The real power that activates your subconscious mind is emotion. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious mind responds not so much to what you say, but to how you feel about what you say. You can repeat affirmations all day long, but if you're doing it with doubt or fear in your heart, it won't have the same impact as when you do it with calm confidence and expectancy. Think of your emotions as the electricity that brings your thoughts to life. A thought without emotion is like a light bulb without a current. It has potential, but it doesn't shine. When you attach strong feelings to a thought, you supercharge it. You give it power, and your subconscious mind begins to work immediately to make it real. This is why it's so important to understand how you feel about money right now. Many people are thinking, I want to be wealthy, but emotionally they're still feeling worried, fearful, or unworthy. Those emotions are signals to the subconscious, and it listens to feelings far more than words. So if you want to change your wealth blueprint, you have to change the way you feel about money. Here's something powerful to remember. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between a real experience and an imagined one, as long as the feeling is real. Take a moment and imagine holding a fresh lemon. Visualize slicing it open, the juice dripping, the sharp citrus smell filling the air. Now imagine taking a bite. Just thinking about it, you can almost feel your mouth watering. That's because your subconscious reacted to the imagined feeling as if it were real. This same principle applies to wealth. If you can create the feeling of being wealthy, calm, free, secure, expansive, your subconscious will accept it as your reality and begin to align your life to match it. So how do you actually do this? First, you must shift from worry to calm expectancy. Worry is one of the most damaging emotional states when it comes to money. It tells your subconscious, I don't have enough. I'm afraid there won't be more. I'm stuck. And because the subconscious always takes your dominant feelings as instructions, it keeps producing situations that match that vibration of lack. Calm expectancy, on the other hand, is a quiet, confident knowing that everything you need is already on its way. It's not desperation. It's not forcing. It's a relaxed trust. When you expect good things with calm assurance, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I already have more than enough. My supply is guaranteed. I'm safe. Joseph Murphy often said, the feeling of wealth produces wealth. He didn't mean you have to constantly jump up and down with excitement. He meant you cultivate a deep, settled feeling of being taken care of being supported by life. One way to create this shift is through what's called emotional rehearsal. Emotional rehearsal means you mentally and emotionally practice the life you want as if it's already here. Here's how it works. Take a quiet moment, close your eyes, and imagine yourself in the exact financial situation you desire. Picture yourself waking up in your dream home, feeling completely free and secure. Imagine opening your bank account and seeing the balance you want. Visualize yourself traveling, giving generously to others, or enjoying the experiences you've always dreamed about. But here's the key. Don't just see it, feel it. What would it feel like to live without financial worry? What emotions would you have if you already knew you were wealthy? Maybe it's relief. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's gratitude. Let those feelings fill your body right now, in this moment, even if nothing has changed on the outside yet. When you do this, you're training your subconscious mind to accept wealth as your present reality, not a distant goal. And because the subconscious moves toward whatever feels real, it begins to reorganize your thoughts, habits, and even the opportunities you attract. You might notice something subtle happens when you start practicing this. You begin to make different decisions. You stop acting out of fear. You carry yourself with more confidence. You naturally align with better opportunities. It's not forced. It flows from a new emotional state you've created within. Another powerful way to create the feeling of wealth is through gratitude. When you focus on what you already have and feel truly grateful for it, you shift into a vibration of abundance. Gratitude says to the subconscious, I have plenty. And the subconscious, which always amplifies what you feel, begins to bring more experiences that match that sense of plenty. So even if you don't yet have everything you want, you can start by being grateful for what you do have. The roof over your head, the food you eat, the friends or family who care about you, even the smallest blessings. As you feel genuine appreciation, you're tuning yourself to the frequency of wealth. You can also use simple physical triggers to help your emotions align. For example, if you have a certain outfit, fragrance, or piece of music that makes you feel confident and abundant, use it during your visualization or affirmation practice. The brain links those sensory experiences to the emotions, making it easier to return to that feeling again and again. It's also important to understand that feeling wealthy doesn't mean ignoring your current reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It means you choose not to dwell in fear. You choose to focus on the truth that abundance is possible for you, even if you don't yet see the evidence. Joseph Murphy reminded us that the subconscious mind is like a loyal servant. It doesn't question whether your feelings are based on what's real or imagined. It only knows what you give it. So if you feed it worry, it produces more reasons to worry. But if you feed it calm expectancy and the emotions of abundance, it will begin creating circumstances that reflect those feelings. And here's something to reflect on. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling good, feeling confident and expansive, things seem to flow more easily? You meet the right people. You have great ideas. You attract unexpected help. That's emotional magnetism at work. You're aligned with a state that allows abundance to flow. So the real work is not to force money to come. The real work is to align your feelings with the reality you want before it shows up. Imagine yourself already living the life of luxury and freedom you desire. Feel what it's like to have no financial stress. Breathe as if it's already done. The more you can live in that emotional state, the faster your outer world will begin to shift to match it. This is why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly. They've made feeling abundant their natural state, regardless of circumstances. They radiate trust, confidence, and calm expectation, and life reflects that back to them. So take a moment right now. Close your eyes. Picture yourself free from all financial worry. Imagine what it feels like to live in ease and plenty. Let that feeling wash over you. Hold it for a few moments. That feeling, that calm, confident, expansive state, is the key. When you feel wealthy now, your subconscious takes it as truth and begins shaping your reality to match it. Visualization, painting your financial future. Let's talk about one of the most powerful tools for reprogramming your mind for wealth: visualization. Visualization is not just daydreaming. It's not wishful thinking. It's a deliberate, conscious way to impress new images onto your subconscious mind. And remember, whatever the subconscious accepts as true, it will express in your life. Think of your subconscious like a movie projector. Whatever film you load into it will show up on the screen of your life. If you keep replaying old images of lack, struggle, and fear, that's the movie you'll keep watching. But if you start feeding it images of wealth, freedom, and abundance, your life will gradually rearrange itself to match those pictures. Joseph Murphy explained it simply. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one that's vividly imagined. Have you ever had a dream so realistic that you woke up with your heart racing or even crying? Your subconscious didn't know it was just a dream. It accepted it as real. That's how powerful mental imagery is. So how do you use visualization to program your mind for prosperity? First, you need a clear picture of what you want. Don't just say, "I want more money." That's vague. Instead, be specific. How much do you want? What would your life look like with financial freedom? Would you live in a beautiful home, travel the world, start a business, give generously to your family, or causes you love? When you visualize, detail matters. The clearer the picture, the easier it is for your subconscious to accept it. Once you have that picture in your mind, find a quiet moment to relax. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and let your body soften. When you're calm and still, begin to see yourself already living the life you desire. Imagine the exact surroundings. What does your dream home look like? What color are the walls? What does it feel like when you walk through the door? Picture yourself looking at your bank account and seeing the exact balance you want. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude of having more than enough. And here's the key. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the emotions as if it's already happening right now. The pride of achieving financial freedom. The peace of knowing all your needs are met. The excitement of being able to do what you want when you want. Those feelings are what give the visualization its power. Joseph Murphy taught that the sleep method is one of the most effective ways to impress these images on the subconscious. Why? Because just before sleep, your conscious mind is relaxed and your subconscious is wide open. So at night, before you drift off, spend a few minutes replaying your visualization. Imagine yourself already living your ideal financial life. Don't think of it as something in the future. Think of it as now. See it vividly. Feel it deeply. Let it be the last thing your mind focuses on as you fall asleep. Your subconscious will take that image and begin working on it even while you rest. It will start aligning your thoughts, behaviors, and even external circumstances to match what you've been impressing upon it. Here's a simple nightly routine you could try. Lie in bed and take a few deep breaths. Let go of any tension. Imagine a single, clear scene that represents your financial goal. Maybe it's you receiving a big check. Maybe it's you walking into your dream home. Maybe it's you enjoying a luxurious vacation. Make the scene vivid. What do you see? What do you hear? How does it feel? Stay in that feeling for a few minutes, letting it sink in. Then drift off to sleep with that image in your mind. If you do this consistently, night after night, you'll be amazed at how your outer life starts to shift. Another powerful way to use visualization is to create a mental movie during the day. Spend just 3 to 5 minutes seeing your ideal financial life as if it's happening now. Combine it with affirmations like, "I am so grateful for the wealth that flows to me. I live in abundance. I have more than enough." The more often you revisit that inner picture, the more familiar it becomes to your subconscious. Eventually, it starts to feel normal. And when wealth feels normal to you on the inside, it begins to show up on the outside. This is why so many successful people, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, use visualization. They mentally rehearse their success until it feels inevitable. They live it in their mind first, and the body and the outer world follow. You can do the same with your financial life. But here's an important tip. Don't mix your visualization with doubt. Some people visualize their dream life and then immediately think, but how could that ever happen? It's impossible. I don't see a way. When you do that, you cancel out the feeling. Joseph Murphy taught that you don't need to figure out how it will happen. The how belongs to the deeper intelligence of life. Your only job is to create the clear picture and feel it as real. The subconscious mind and the infinite intelligence behind it will take care of the details. So trust the process. You don't plant a seed in the ground and then dig it up the next day to see if it's growing. You plant it, water it, and allow it time. Visualization works the same way. Plant the image in your subconscious, nurture it with emotion, and let it unfold. When you practice this regularly, you'll notice subtle changes. You'll start feeling calmer about money. Ideas and opportunities you never noticed before will appear. You'll naturally make better decisions. It's like tuning a radio. You'll start aligning with a new frequency, and new experiences will flow into your life. Here's the most important thing to remember. If you can see it clearly in your mind and feel it deeply in your heart, it's already real on the level of the subconscious. And what's real there will eventually become real here. So take a moment today to paint that picture. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Even 5 minutes of clear, focused visualization can shift your entire energy around money. If this resonated with you, take a moment to give this video a like. It really helps more people discover these powerful teachings. And if you want to continue learning how to completely transform your wealth blueprint from the inside out, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. Remember, everything you're seeking is already within you. The life you desire starts in your imagination. See it, feel it, and allow it to become your reality. Wealth words, the language of abundance. Words are far more powerful than most people realize. They're not just sounds or symbols. They are carriers of meaning, emotion, and energy. And every word you speak is like a seed you're planting, not only in the minds of others, but most importantly, in your own subconscious mind. Joseph Murphy often said, "Your words are creative. Your subconscious mind takes them literally and brings them to pass." When you speak, you're not just describing your reality, you're shaping it. Think about it for a moment. How do you usually talk about money? Do you often say things like, "I can't afford this. I'm broke. I never have enough. Money is so hard to make"? If so, those words are acting as repeated instructions to your subconscious mind. They reinforce the very state you want to escape. The subconscious mind is very literal. It doesn't interpret sarcasm, jokes, or exaggeration. If you say, "I'm always struggling financially," it doesn't say, "Oh, they don't really mean that. It's just frustration." No, it accepts it as a command and keeps you in alignment with the struggle you're affirming. This is why it's so important to become aware of your language. Words are like a mirror reflecting your beliefs. If you want to change your wealth blueprint, you must begin to speak the language of abundance, not the language of lack. Let's look at an example. Imagine someone asks, "How are you doing financially?" And you reply, "It's tough. I'm barely making it." Every time you say that, you're reinforcing that belief and impressing it deeper into your subconscious. You're also tuning your energy to the vibration of struggle, which naturally attracts more situations that match it. Now, imagine responding differently. You could say, "I'm learning to allow more abundance into my life. Money is flowing to me more easily every day." Even if your outer situation hasn't fully changed yet, those words are sending a new command to your subconscious. Over time, that new command begins to create new experiences. It's not about lying or pretending. It's about speaking from the perspective of the reality you want to create, not the one you're trying to leave behind. So the first step is to eliminate phrases of lack. Listen to yourself carefully over the next few days. Notice if you say things like, "I can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm always broke. I'm terrible with money. Life is just expensive and unfair." These phrases seem harmless because they're so common, but they're powerful because of their repetition. Every time you say them, you're affirming lack. Now replace those phrases with words of plenty. For example, instead of "I can't afford it," say, "I choose to prioritize my spending and more money is always coming in." Instead of "I'm broke," say, "I'm opening myself to greater wealth every day." Instead of "money is hard to make," say, "money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." This subtle shift in language will begin to shift your mindset. And when your mindset changes, your feelings and actions naturally follow. The second step is to use deliberate prosperity affirmations. Affirmations are simply short, powerful statements that declare your desired reality as already true. They're like direct instructions to your subconscious. When repeated calmly and consistently, they begin to overwrite old negative programming. Here are some of Joseph Murphy's style of affirmations for wealth. "I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly. I am forever conscious of my true worth. I am open and receptive to the abundance of the universe. I am richly supplied with everything I need. Every day, in every way, I am becoming more prosperous and fulfilled. I give thanks for the wealth that is circulating in my life. I am grateful for increasing riches now and always. When you say these affirmations, don't rush. Don't just repeat them mechanically. Say them slowly, calmly, with a feeling of peace and certainty. The emotion behind your words is what makes them stick. Another powerful practice is to combine affirmations with visualization. For example, as you affirm, I am living in abundance and financial freedom. Picture yourself already enjoying that life. Feel the relief and gratitude as if it's happening right now. Joseph Murphy often advised repeating affirmations right before sleep because the mind is most receptive in that drowsy, relaxed state. So as you lie in bed, instead of replaying worries, softly affirm something like, "Thank you for the endless wealth that flows to me. I sleep in peace knowing I am divinely provided for." It's also helpful to affirm positive words not only about yourself, but about others. When you bless someone else's prosperity, sincerely saying, "I'm so happy for their success. May they have even more," you're aligning yourself with the same energy. Envy and resentment block abundance, but kind words open the flow. It's important to remember that this is not about perfection. You don't have to monitor every single word you speak, but you do want to be intentional with the words you use repeatedly, especially about money. Over time, those words become beliefs, and those beliefs shape your life. Think of your words like water. You can either water the weeds of scarcity or the seeds of abundance. The choice is always yours. So starting today, choose wealth words. Speak as if abundance is already yours. When someone asks how you're doing financially, you can simply say, "I'm moving into greater prosperity every day." When you see something you desire but don't yet have, instead of saying, "I'll never afford that," you can say, "That's coming to me in perfect time." Little by little, those new words will begin to feel natural. They will reshape your inner dialogue. And as your inner dialogue changes, so will your outer results. Here's a simple daily practice you could try. In the morning, choose one prosperity affirmation that resonates with you. Repeat it gently for a few minutes, feeling its truth. During the day, notice any negative money language that slips out. Pause. Rephrase it in a more abundant way. At night, before sleep, repeat your affirmation again and visualize your life filled with abundance. Over time, this simple practice of aligning your words with wealth will completely shift the way you think and feel about money. You'll stop unconsciously reinforcing lack and start consciously creating abundance. Remember this always. Your words are like commands to your subconscious. Speak wisely, because the life you live tomorrow is being shaped by the words you're speaking today. Faith in the infinite supply. At the core of Joseph Murphy's teachings about wealth is a simple yet profound truth. There's an infinite supply of good in the universe. When we talk about God in this context, we're not speaking about a distant figure in the sky who decides who gets blessed and who doesn't. Joseph Murphy often described God as the universal intelligence, the creative life force that sustains everything. It is the source of all abundance, unlimited, unchanging, and ever-present. Think about nature for a moment. Look at how effortlessly it expresses abundance. The ocean never says, "I've run out of waves." The sun never says, "I can't shine today because I gave too much yesterday." Seeds multiply into forests. One apple has seeds to grow hundreds of more apples. Everywhere you look in nature, there is endless renewal and overflow. This same principle applies to wealth and good in your life. You are connected to this infinite source. You are not separate from it. But most people have been conditioned to believe in limitation. They think there's only so much to go around. If someone else has more, there's less for me. I need to fight, compete, and hold on tightly. That thinking creates fear. And fear of money running out is one of the biggest blocks to receiving more. When you live in fear, you're telling your subconscious that the supply is limited. You're instructing it to hold back, to contract, to prepare for lack. But when you live in faith, when you trust that the source is infinite, you relax. You stop clinging. You start circulating money with joy, and it returns to you multiplied. Faith is the bridge that connects you to this infinite supply. Joseph Murphy explained that when you have true faith in God as the source of all wealth, you don't depend on one job, one client, one opportunity. You understand that those are just channels. If one channel closes, another will open because the source is endless. Here's a simple but powerful mental shift. Instead of seeing your income as coming only from your job or business, see it as coming from the infinite. Your work is just one of the many ways the universe flows abundance to you. If that way changes, the supply itself hasn't changed. There are infinite other ways it can reach you. This trust removes the fear of loss. It removes the tight, anxious feeling of what if I run out? What if things go wrong? Faith replaces that with calm expectancy. I'm always provided for. No matter what happens, there's always more. Let's look at some examples of how this plays out. Joseph Murphy often shared stories of people who manifested unexpected wealth simply through faith. One of his famous examples was of a woman who was drowning in debt. She didn't know how she would ever repay what she owed. She felt completely trapped. Murphy told her to stop worrying about how it would happen. Instead, he guided her to affirm calmly every day, "I give thanks for the immediate, complete payment of all my financial obligations in divine order. I trust the infinite supply of God, which is always with me." She repeated this affirmation faithfully, morning and night. She didn't force it. She simply trusted. Within a few weeks, unexpected money began to flow into her life. An inheritance she didn't know about, a refund she wasn't expecting, and even a promotion at her job. Piece by piece, her debts were cleared. Another story was of a man who had lost his business. He had no savings and was filled with fear about how he would support his family. Murphy reminded him that the business was just a channel, not the source. The true source, God, infinite intelligence, could open new doors. The man began to meditate daily, affirming, "I am divinely guided to new opportunities. I trust that the infinite supply of life supports me fully." Within a month, he was offered a partnership in a completely new industry that turned out to be more profitable and fulfilling than his old business. What changed for these people? It wasn't luck. It was a shift in consciousness. They moved from fear and scarcity, thinking to faith and trust. And that interchange allowed new channels of supply to open. This doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. Faith is not passive. When you trust, you also stay open and alert to new ideas and opportunities. The difference is you're no longer acting from desperation. You're acting from calm confidence that the universe is on your side. So how do you build this kind of faith? First, spend time each day connecting with a feeling of being supported by something greater than yourself. Close your eyes and imagine the infinite nature of life. Think about the stars in the sky, the endless waves of the ocean, the way your own body has trillions of cells working in harmony without you even thinking about it. If life can sustain all of that effortlessly, it can certainly sustain you. Second, whenever fear arises, when you catch yourself thinking, "What if I lose everything? What if there's not enough?" Gently replace it with a faith statement. You might say, "God is my immediate and endless source of supply. I trust the infinite intelligence of life to provide all that I need. I'm always guided, supported, and prosper by the source within me." Say it calmly. Let the words sink in until you feel a sense of relief. Third, practice gratitude for the supply you already have. Gratitude is a powerful expression of faith. When you give thanks for what you have now, you're acknowledging the source. And what you acknowledge expands. Here's something subtle but important. Faith doesn't mean you'll never face challenges. Life will always have changes. But with faith, you'll know that even if one door closes, another will open. You'll have the quiet confidence that you're never cut off from the supply, because the source is infinite. When you truly live in this trust, you stop making decisions out of fear. You stop hoarding, clinging, or doubting. You start circulating wealth with joy, spending, giving, receiving with a sense of flow. And in that flow, more always comes. Joseph Murphy put it beautifully. The wealth of the universe is your wealth. The riches of the infinite are yours to enjoy. Right now, even if you can't see it with your eyes, you are surrounded by an invisible field of abundance. Ideas, opportunities, connections, solutions, all of it is here, waiting for you to align with it. And the way you align is through faith. So take a deep breath and remember, you are never separate from the source of good. You are one with the infinite supply. The more you trust that truth, the more life will prove it to you. Healing money guilt and unworthiness. Many people consciously say they want more wealth, yet something deep inside quietly resists it. You might work hard, set goals, even try affirmations, but the results always seem limited or temporary. Why? Because beneath the surface, there's often a hidden emotional weight, guilt, and unworthiness. This inner resistance isn't always obvious. It hides in subtle thoughts. Who am I to have more? What will others think of me? Maybe I don't deserve it. If I become wealthy, will I lose friends? Will I become selfish? Joseph Murphy taught that your subconscious mind must agree with your conscious desire, or it will quietly block it. If part of you feels wrong about having wealth, it will find ways to push it away. Where does this come from? For many, it begins in childhood. Maybe you grew up in a family that struggled financially. You heard conversations filled with worry. "We can't afford this, money is scarce, life is hard." You absorbed these beliefs like a sponge. Or maybe you were told that wanting more was greedy or ungrateful. Some families or cultures praise self-sacrifice and silently shame abundance. You may have heard sayings like, "Money is the root of all evil," or "Rich people are dishonest." Even religious teachings are sometimes misunderstood as meaning you should avoid wealth to be spiritual. Over time, these messages form invisible walls in your subconscious. You may consciously crave financial freedom, but another part of you quietly whispers, "It's wrong. It's dangerous. It's not for me." This inner conflict creates guilt. And guilt is like a signal to your subconscious to keep you away from what you desire. Here's the deeper truth. Wealth itself is not good or bad. It's neutral. It simply reflects the consciousness of the person who holds it. Money in the hands of someone kind and wise can do great good. It can support families, communities, creativity, and healing. It's only when people misuse it that problems arise. Joseph Murphy often reminded his readers, you have a right to be rich. It is a spiritual right because you are here to express life more fully. When you prosper, you're not taking away from anyone else. You're tapping into the infinite supply that is already present in the universe. So how do you heal this guilt and step into a sense of worthiness? Step 1. See wealth as a blessing, not a burden. Take a moment to imagine what you could do with more resources. How many lives could you help? How much more peace and freedom could you bring to your family? How much more creative, generous, and joyful could you be? Wealth is simply a tool, and in the hands of someone with a good heart, it becomes a force for positive change. Step 2. Release the old emotional weight. Sometimes we hold on to guilt about past mistakes, bad financial decisions, debts, or missed opportunities. But constantly reliving those regrets keeps you tied to them. You can gently release them with a simple statement. I forgive myself for any mistakes I made with money. I release the past and choose a fresh start. I am learning, growing, and opening to new blessings. If there are people or situations you blame for your financial struggles, forgive them too. Not for their sake, but for your own freedom. You might say, I release any resentment toward those who influenced my beliefs about money. I bless them and let go of the old patterns. I am free, and they are free. When you forgive, you make space for new energy to flow. Step 3. Accept your worthiness. This is perhaps the most important step. You are not unworthy of wealth. You are a child of the infinite, a unique expression of life itself. Do you see how nature provides endlessly? The sun shines without asking if you deserve it. The earth produces harvests without limit. You, too, are part of this natural flow. Joseph Murphy would often affirm, it is my divine right to be rich, happy, and successful. Money is God in action. It is good and very good. You can create your own simple affirmation that feels true for you. For example, I am worthy of abundance. I allow myself to prosper. It is safe for me to have more. My wealth blesses me and others. I accept the gifts of life with gratitude and joy. Say these calmly every day, not as empty words, but as reminders of a deeper truth. Step 4. Connect wealth with purpose. When you tie your desire for money to a higher purpose, guilt fades away. For example, if you want more wealth so you can give your family a better life, contribute to your community, or express your talents, it stops feeling selfish. Ask yourself, how will more abundance help me grow? How will it help me serve? When you see wealth as a way to expand goodness, it feels aligned with your soul. Step 5. Practice gratitude for what you have now. Gratitude is the fastest way to shift from feeling unworthy to feeling supported. Every time you notice and appreciate the blessings you already have, even the small ones, you align with more. You're telling the universe, I recognize the good in my life, and I'm ready for more. Take a few minutes each day to silently say, thank you for this home, this breath, this opportunity, this lesson. Gratitude melts guilt. It reminds you that life is already giving to you, and it can give even more. Let me share a simple story. A woman once told Joseph Murphy that she felt terrible about wanting more money because she thought it was unspiritual. She was a kind person, always helping others, but she lived in constant financial stress. Murphy gently explained that poverty doesn't help anyone. In fact, her stress was limiting her ability to give and serve. He asked her to shift her perspective. Instead of seeing money as selfish, see it as a channel of blessing. He gave her this affirmation, I am one with the infinite riches of life. Money flows to me freely for my own good and the good of all. She began to repeat it daily, slowly letting go of the guilt. Within months, unexpected opportunities appeared. New work, unexpected gifts, even financial help from someone she had once helped. With more resources, she was able to improve her own life and assist even more people. Her story reminds us that there is no virtue in staying small out of guilt. You were not born to live in lack. You were born to expand. So take a deep breath. Release the shame. Release the old programming. Forgive the past and step into the truth. You are worthy of wealth. You are worthy of comfort, freedom, and joy. And the more you allow yourself to receive, the more you'll have to give. Wealth is not something you have to earn with suffering. It is a natural expression of life when you align your mind and heart with it. It's safe, it's good, and it's your birthright. The law of circulation, keep money moving. Have you ever noticed how life is always in motion? The oceans have tides. The air you breathe flows in and out. Blood circulates through your body, keeping you alive. Nature doesn't hoard, it moves in cycles. Money is no different. It's part of this same universal flow. It is energy, and like any form of energy, it's meant to circulate. Joseph Murphy often emphasized this truth. When you allow money to move freely through your life with gratitude and joy, it multiplies. When you hoard it in fear, you block its natural flow. Let's look at why this is so important. Most people think that giving money away reduces what they have. If I give, they think I'll have less. But the opposite is true. When you give with a loving, generous spirit, you're sending out a signal of abundance. You're affirming to your subconscious mind, I have more than enough, and there is always more where that came from. This belief of more than enough expands your wealth consciousness. And because your outer world always reflects your inner state, opportunities and unexpected channels of income begin to show up. Think about the times in your own life when you've given freely, whether it was helping a friend, tipping generously, or donating to a cause you believed in. How did it feel? Most people describe it as light, joyful, fulfilling. That feeling is the frequency of abundance itself. Now compare that to the feeling of clinging tightly to money out of fear. It feels heavy, contracted, anxious. That energy communicates lack, and it attracts more lack. This is why hoarding creates stagnation. Imagine water in a stream. When it flows, it stays fresh and clear. But if it gets trapped in a corner and stops moving, it becomes stale, full of algae, lifeless. Money works the same way. If you hold it with fear, refusing to let it move, you cut yourself off from the larger flow of circulation. Joseph Murphy explained it beautifully. When you refuse to share, you are really saying, I don't trust the source. I believe it's limited. That belief of limitation keeps you small. But when you circulate money joyfully, paying for goods and services, giving to others, supporting what you value, you're telling your subconscious, the supply is endless. I am safe. I am provided for. That inner assurance opens the door for more to come. It's important to understand that circulation is not reckless spending. It's not about throwing money away without thought. It's about conscious, joyful flow. You give, you receive, you give again, and the cycle continues. Let's make this more real with a story. A man once came to Joseph Murphy feeling desperate about his finances. He had been saving every penny, cutting expenses to the bone, but somehow his money kept disappearing through unexpected bills and problems. He felt like no matter how hard he tried, there was never enough. Murphy asked him a simple question. When was the last time you gave someone money with joy? The man admitted it had been years. He was so afraid of running out that he never gave freely to anyone. Murphy told him to start small. Take a few dollars and give it where you feel inspired. Buy someone lunch, donate anonymously, or tip someone generously. But do it with gratitude, not fear. Know that it comes back multiplied. The man reluctantly agreed. He began giving small amounts with a sincere heart. At first, it felt uncomfortable, but something surprising happened. Each time he gave, he felt lighter. And within weeks, new opportunities began to show up. He received a freelance project that paid more than he expected. Then a past client reached out with more work. The more he circulated, the more his life seemed to open up. This is the law of circulation in action. It's also important to circulate money joyfully when you spend. Many people pay bills or buy necessities with resentment, thinking, I hate that this money is leaving me. But that negative feeling sends the wrong signal. It reinforces lack. Instead, Joseph Murphy advised blessing every transaction. When you pay a bill, you can quietly say, I am grateful for this service. I pay with joy, knowing more is coming to me now. When you buy food, affirm, I bless this money and the hands it passes through. Money always returns to me multiplied. This small mental shift turns spending into an act of faith and gratitude instead of fear. Here's another powerful insight. You can't outgive the universe. Whenever you give freely, whether it's money, kindness, time, or support, you create a vacuum that the universe naturally fills. It may not always come back from the same person or in the same way, but it always returns. As Joseph Murphy often said, whatever you give to yourself, for you and the other are one. So how can you start practicing the law of circulation today? Give something, no matter how small. It could be a donation, a tip, or even buying someone coffee. The amount doesn't matter. The spirit behind it does. Get it with a feeling of joy and trust. Bless your spending. When money leaves your hands, see it as planting a seed. It's going out to circulate. It will come back multiplied. Avoid clinging out of fear. Yes, it's wise to save and plan, but don't let fear control you. Saving from fear is hoarding. Saving with faith is wise stewardship. Feel the difference. Keep money moving in alignment with your values. Support what uplifts you, whether it's a local business, a charity, or someone in need. When you give where your heart feels good, you're aligning with true abundance. Here's a simple affirmation you can use daily. I am part of the endless circulation of wealth. Money flows to me and through me with ease. Whatever I give returns to me multiplied in perfect ways. Remember, this is not just about money. It's about energy. When you give love, kindness, and generosity, life reflects it back. When you withhold out of fear, you experience more fear. So start small. Give a little. Circulate joyfully. Trust that there is always more. As you practice this law, you'll notice something profound. Your relationship with money becomes lighter, freer, and more abundant. And as Joseph Murphy beautifully said, when you release your money with joy, it comes back to you pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Life is always moving. Keep your wealth moving too, and watch it grow. Sleeping rich, nightly wealth reprogramming. Have you ever noticed how your thoughts feel different just before you drift off to sleep? That soft, hazy state where you're not fully awake, but not fully asleep either? Joseph Murphy called this the hypnagogic state, and it is one of the most powerful times to reprogram your subconscious mind, especially for prosperity. Why? Because as you fall asleep, your conscious mind, with all its doubts, fears, and endless chatter, finally relaxes. The door to your subconscious opens wide. In that moment, whatever thoughts, images, or feelings you impress upon your mind sink in deeply and begin working overnight. Most people don't realize this. They go to bed replaying the day's worries, thinking about unpaid bills, problems at work, or what might go wrong tomorrow. And because the subconscious doesn't judge or filter, it simply accepts those thoughts and starts creating more of the same. But what if you deliberately chose different thoughts before sleep? What if, instead of feeding your mind lack and fear, you planted seeds of abundance, calm, and wealth? This is the secret of sleeping rich. Joseph Murphy taught that your last 5 minutes before sleep are the most important minutes of your day. Those final impressions stay with your subconscious throughout the entire night. If you want to change your financial reality, you must first change the mental blueprint that creates it, and bedtime is the easiest time to do it. So how do you use this hypnagogic state for prosperity? It begins with relaxation. Before you go to bed, take a few moments to let go of the day. Sit or lie down comfortably and take a slow, deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the tension melting away. Tell yourself, all is well. I am safe. I am supported by life. The goal is to shift from the busy, problem-solving mode of the day into a state of calm receptivity. Your subconscious responds best when you are peaceful, not frantic. Once you feel relaxed, gently guide your mind toward the financial life you desire. Don't force it. Just imagine as if it's already true. For example, you might picture yourself checking your bank account and seeing more than enough money there. Or you might imagine living in your dream home, feeling the freedom of being debt-free, or joyfully buying something for a loved one without hesitation. Don't worry about every tiny detail. Just create a simple mental scene that makes you feel wealthy and secure. The key is the feeling. If you can feel the relief, the gratitude, the quiet happiness of already having what you desire, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious. This is my reality. Joseph Murphy often advised what he called the sleep technique. Here's how it works. As you lie in bed, in that soft, drowsy state, repeat a simple prosperity affirmation over and over like a lullaby. Do it gently, almost like you're whispering it to yourself. For example, I am wealthy now. I am wealthy now. Thank you for my ever-increasing supply. I sleep in peace knowing abundance flows to me. Say it slowly, with feeling, until you drift off. You don't have to stay awake to make it work. In fact, it's better if you fall asleep with those words still echoing in your mind. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. It simply accepts what you give it. By feeding it images and affirmations of abundance at the moment it's most receptive, you're planting seeds that will grow into new conditions in your life. Here's something beautiful to remember. While you sleep, your conscious mind rests, but your subconscious keeps working. It doesn't sleep. It processes your thoughts and emotions, reorganizes your mental patterns, and begins attracting ideas, opportunities, and solutions that match the blueprint you gave it. This is why many people wake up with sudden clarity or new ideas after a good night's sleep. The subconscious has been silently working all night, arranging the pieces you couldn't figure out consciously. Joseph Murphy shared many stories of people who transformed their financial lives simply by practicing this nightly routine. One example was a man drowning in debt who couldn't see any way out. Every night before bed, he would close his eyes and imagine his debts being cleared. He didn't think about how it would happen. He simply pictured the end result and repeated calmly, I give thanks for the immediate, complete payment of all my obligations. Within weeks, unexpected help appeared. Old investments he'd forgotten about paid off, and someone offered to buy a piece of property he owned. What seemed impossible began unfolding in ways he never could have planned. Another story was of a woman who felt stuck in a low-paying job. She wanted more opportunities, but kept doubting herself. She began using the sleep method every night, quietly affirming, I am divinely guided to wealth and success. My income is constantly growing. After 2 months, she was offered a new position in a completely different company with double the salary. What changed? Not the external world first, but her inner world. By impressing her subconscious with new patterns, She opened the way for new experiences. You can do this too. Here's a simple nightly wealth ritual you can start tonight. Unwind the mind. About 10 to 15 minutes before bed, turn off distractions. Sit quietly or lie down and take a few calming breaths. Release any tension from the day. Visualize your desired reality. See yourself already living the life you want. Make it simple. Feel the relief, gratitude, and joy. Choose one short affirmation. Repeat it gently, like a lullaby, as you drift into sleep. For example, I am so grateful for my endless supply. I'm financially free now. Wealth flows to me as I rest. Let go of the how. Don't worry about figuring out how it will happen. Your subconscious will handle the details. Your job is only to provide the right mental picture and feeling. When you make this a habit, you'll notice small but powerful changes. You'll wake up feeling lighter, more confident, more open to opportunities. You may start to notice unexpected ideas or coincidences that guide you toward new income streams or financial solutions. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden. Every night, you plant seeds of wealth, security, and freedom in the fertile soil of your subconscious. You don't dig them up in the morning to see if they're growing. You simply keep planting, trusting that the growth is happening beneath the surface. And as Joseph Murphy beautifully said, your subconscious mind is the builder of your body and affairs. What you impress upon it will be expressed. Impress wealth, and wealth will express. So tonight, as you lie down, let go of the day. Don't carry worry into your sleep. Instead, close your eyes and feel the truth of abundance already within you. Whisper to yourself with calm certainty, I am wealthy now. My life is filled with endless supply. I rest in peace knowing all is well. Then drift into sleep, letting your subconscious do the rest. Each night is a new chance to reshape your inner world, and your inner world shapes everything else. Replacing fear with calm expectation. Fear is one of the greatest blockers of wealth. It's subtle, often disguised as being realistic or just worrying about the future, but beneath it lies a powerful message you're sending to your subconscious. I don't believe I'm safe. I don't trust there's enough. I expect things to go wrong. And here's the challenging part. Your subconscious mind doesn't question the messages you give it. It simply takes whatever you focus on as instructions. So if your mind is filled with fear of not having enough, your subconscious starts creating experiences that match that fear. Joseph Murphy explained it simply. What you fear, you attract. Fear is really just faith in the wrong direction. It's believing more in lack than in abundance, more in obstacles than in solutions. It contracts your energy, making you feel small, tense, and defensive. And because like attracts like, fear tends to bring more situations that confirm it. Think about the times you've been deeply worried about money. Maybe you were constantly checking your bank account, imagining the worst, or lying awake thinking about how to make ends meet. Did that worry bring clarity or opportunities? Or did it make you feel even more stuck and paralyzed? Worry never creates solutions. It only creates more of the same feeling. But when you shift from fear to calm expectation, everything changes. Calm expectation is not blind optimism. It's a deep inner trust that things are always working out for you, even if you don't yet see how. It's holding the quiet certainty that abundance is your natural state and that new ways will always open. Joseph Murphy often reminded his readers, your subconscious mind always responds to your habitual thinking. Expect good, and you will attract good. Expect trouble, and you will attract trouble. So how do you replace fear with this calm, magnetic expectation of good? Step 1. Recognize fear for what it is. Fear is not a prediction of the future. It's just a thought, a mental image of something unwanted. And just because you think it doesn't make it true, when you feel fear about money, pause and gently remind yourself, this is just a habit of thinking. It's not reality. I could choose a different thought now. That simple awareness breaks the automatic cycle. You stop being pulled into the story and start creating space for something new. Step 2. Reframe fear as a signal to redirect. Instead of seeing fear as your enemy, see it as a signal. It's telling you where your attention has been, on lack, limitation, or what might go wrong. So the moment you feel it, use it as a cue to gently shift your focus. Ask yourself, what would I rather experience? What would it feel like if everything was working out beautifully right now? That one question moves you from dwelling on problems to imagining solutions. Step 3. Build the habit of expecting good. Expecting good outcomes is not pretending problems don't exist. It's choosing to believe that there's always a way through and that you're supported by life itself. This habit is built one small thought at a time. You don't have to instantly believe in massive wealth or overnight success. Start with simple expectations like, I expect today to bring me peace and clarity. I expect good news and helpful opportunities. I expect my needs to be met in perfect ways. Say these throughout your day, especially when your mind starts slipping into worry. Remember, expectation is really about feeling. When you expect good, you feel lighter, calmer, more open. And that state of openness allows new ideas, solutions, and synchronicities to reach you. Step 4. Practice mental exercises for peaceful confidence. Joseph Murphy shared several simple but powerful mental techniques for shifting from fear to calm trust. Let's explore a few you can use right away. 1. The what if everything works out technique. Whenever your mind starts spiraling into what if it all goes wrong, flip it around. Gently ask yourself, but what if it all works out better than I imagined? What if the money comes in the easiest way possible? What if things are actually lining up for me right now? This soft question interrupts the fear and plants a seed of possibility. 2. The safe place visualization. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a safe, serene place. Maybe a peaceful garden, a quiet beach, or a warm, cozy room. In this space, imagine you already have everything you need. See yourself calm, smiling, completely taken care of. Feel the sense of relief in your body. Spend a few minutes there. When you open your eyes, you'll feel more centered and less reactive. 3. The nighttime release. Before sleep, instead of replaying worries, quietly affirm, I release all fear and hand my life over to divine wisdom. I trust that tomorrow will bring new solutions. Falling asleep with that calm thought lets your subconscious work on solutions while you rest. 4. Gratitude in the present moment. Fear usually lives in the future. What if this happens? What if I fail? Gratitude brings you back to now. Take a moment to notice what's already working, even if it's small. Say, I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for this moment of peace. I'm grateful for the ways life has always provided for me. Gratitude instantly softens fear and shifts your energy to abundance. Step 5. Anchor yourself in the truth of abundance. When fear rises, remind yourself of a deeper truth. You are part of an unlimited universe. Nature is overflowing with supply. There's no shortage of opportunities, ideas, or resources. Lack is not the truth. It's just a temporary appearance created by limited thinking. Joseph Murphy would often affirm, I live in a universe of infinite supply. Everything I need comes to me easily and effortlessly. I trust the process of life, for it is always for my good. Repeat this as often as needed, especially when fear whispers otherwise. A story of calm expectation. There's a simple story of a woman who was terrified about losing her job. She kept imagining being unemployed and unable to pay her bills. Each day, her anxiety grew until it was affecting her sleep and health. When she learned about Joseph Murphy's teachings, she decided to change her approach. Each morning she began affirming, I expect wonderful things today. I am divinely guided. All my needs are perfectly met. Instead of rehearsing fear, she began rehearsing trust. Within 2 weeks, an unexpected opportunity appeared in a completely different company, one that offered better pay, more flexibility, and a healthier work environment. The very thing she feared, losing her job, became the doorway to something better. Her calm expectation created space for a new solution, your new habit. So whenever fear about money appears, don't fight it or judge it. Just see it for what it is, a leftover habit of thought. Then gently choose something better. Expect good. Expect solutions. Expect life to surprise you with kindness. With practice, calm expectation will become your new default. You'll notice you feel more relaxed about finances. And when you're relaxed, you're more creative, more open to ideas, and more aware of opportunities that were always around you. Fear contracts your world. Calm expectation expands it. So right now, take a deep breath and quietly say to yourself, I replace fear with trust. I expect only good. I live in a universe of endless supply, and I'm always taken care of. Let that truth sink in. Feel the relief in your body. Let it become your new way of being. Because when you expect good with calm confidence, good will always find its way to you. Forgiveness as a financial key. When most people think about improving their financial life, they focus on strategies, saving, investing, working harder. But Joseph Murphy revealed a hidden, often overlooked truth. Unforgiveness can block your flow of abundance. Resentment, envy, bitterness, these emotions act like heavy weights on your subconscious mind. They keep you tied to the very conditions you don't want. And until you release them, it's hard for prosperity to move freely into your life. Think about it. Have you ever felt envy towards someone who seemed to have more than you? Maybe you thought, why do they have it so easy? They don't deserve it. Or maybe you felt resentment towards someone from your past, an employer who underpaid you, a family member who treated you unfairly, or even a friend who betrayed your trust. On the surface, these feelings might seem harmless, but on a deeper level, they create a subconscious belief that the world is unfair, that money is connected with hurt, or that others' gain is somehow your loss. Joseph Murphy explained it simply. When you resent the prosperity of others, you are actually condemning your own. What you wish for another, you wish for yourself, for you and the other are one. In other words, if you secretly resent someone else's wealth or success, you're sending your subconscious a message. Wealth is bad. It makes people greedy or unfair. I don't want to be like them. And because your subconscious always acts on your deepest feelings, it will quietly block you from receiving more. The same is true with guilt and resentment from the past. If you carry anger towards someone who wronged you financially, you stay tied to that negative energy. You keep reliving the hurt instead of opening to new possibilities. So how do you free yourself? The answer is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It's not about ignoring hurt or pretending it didn't matter. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the emotional prison of resentment. It's about cutting the energetic cord that keeps you stuck. Joseph Murphy called it mental release. He taught that when you forgive, you're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it to clear your own mind, to allow life's flow to move again. Here's how you can practice this powerful financial key. Step 1. Acknowledge the feeling. If you feel envy, resentment, or bitterness, don't push it away or pretend it's not there. Gently acknowledge it. You might say to yourself, yes, I feel hurt. I feel it wasn't fair, but I no longer want to carry this weight. The moment you acknowledge it, you create space for healing. Step 2. Understand the cost of holding on. Ask yourself, what is this resentment costing me? It might be costing you peace of mind, blocking your creativity, or even affecting your health. It's like carrying a heavy backpack you don't need anymore. Realize that holding on doesn't punish the other person. It only keeps you stuck. Forgiveness is choosing your freedom over your pain. Step 3. Use Joseph Murphy's forgiveness affirmation. Murphy gave a simple but powerful affirmation to mentally release anyone who has wronged you. I freely forgive everyone, and I sincerely wish them health, happiness, peace, and all the blessings of life. I am free, and they are free. Peace and prosperity now fill my mind and life. Say this calmly, even if you don't fully feel it at first. Your subconscious doesn't require emotion. It just needs repetition. Over time, you'll notice the sting of resentment softening. Step 4. Bless the success of others. One of the fastest ways to shift from envy to abundance is to bless others' success. When you see someone prospering, instead of thinking, why them? Say, I'm so happy for their success. I bless their wealth and know there's more than enough for me too. This simple practice sends your subconscious a powerful message. Wealth is good. Success is possible for everyone, including me. Remember, someone else's prosperity doesn't take away from yours. The universe is infinite. The more you bless what you want to experience, the more you align yourself with it. Step 5. Forgive yourself too. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. Maybe you made poor financial decisions in the past. Maybe you feel guilty about mistakes or missed opportunities. But holding on to self-blame keeps you trapped in the same patterns. You must release yourself from the past to create a new future. Gently affirm, I forgive myself completely. I did the best I could with the understanding I had. I now choose wisdom, abundance, and fresh beginnings. When you forgive yourself, you open the door for self-worth, and self-worth attracts wealth. A story of forgiveness unlocking abundance. Joseph Murphy shared a story of a woman who had been struggling financially for years. She worked hard, but nothing seemed to improve. When he asked about her past, she admitted she held deep anger toward her ex-husband, who had left her in debt. Murphy explained that this resentment was like a mental block, cutting off the flow of new opportunities. He gave her the forgiveness affirmation and told her to say it daily, imagining her ex surrounded by peace and blessings. At first, she resisted. Why should I bless someone who hurt me? She asked, but she decided to try, realizing she wanted her freedom more than she wanted revenge. After a few weeks of daily forgiveness practice, she noticed a shift. She felt lighter, calmer. Then unexpected things began to happen. She was offered a better job. A friend repaid an old loan she'd forgotten about, and a new supportive relationship entered her life. By releasing the past, she made space for abundance to flow. Why forgiveness unlocks prosperity. When you forgive, you're not only letting go of negative emotions, you're aligning with the energy of abundance itself. Abundance is expansive, open, generous. Resentment is tight, closed, constricting. You can't receive with a closed fist. Forgiveness opens your hand. It also restores your inner peace. And from a peaceful mind, you're more creative, more intuitive, more able to see opportunities you missed before. A daily forgiveness practice. Here's a simple way to integrate forgiveness into your daily routine. Each night, before sleep, think of anyone you may have felt resentment or envy toward that day. Silently say, I release you. I bless you with peace, happiness, and prosperity. I am free, and you are free. Then include yourself. I forgive myself for any mistakes today. I choose to grow in love and abundance. This practice takes only a few minutes, but it clears emotional blocks before they harden into subconscious patterns. Your new mindset. Forgiveness doesn't mean you condone wrong actions. It means you choose freedom over bondage. It means you stop reliving old pain and open yourself to new blessings. So whenever you notice resentment creeping in, pause and remind yourself, holding this hurts only me. I choose to release it. I choose peace. And whenever you see someone thriving, instead of feeling envious, whisper, good for them. I bless their success. What I bless in others, I attract in my own life. Joseph Murphy summed it up beautifully. When you bless and forgive others, you are blessing and forgiving yourself. Whatever you wish for another, you wish for yourself. Release all and you'll be free. So take a deep breath right now. Think of anyone you need to release, past or present. In your heart, say, I forgive you. I bless you. I let you go. I am free and you are free. Peace fills my mind and my life now. Feel the weight lifting. Feel the peace spreading. That peace is the beginning of new prosperity. Because when you forgive, you clear the path for abundance to flow to you easily, naturally, joyfully, unlocking ideas from the infinite mind. When most people think about attracting wealth, they imagine receiving money directly, finding a better paying job, landing a big client, or stumbling upon some lucky break. But Joseph Murphy taught a deeper truth. Money doesn't usually fall into your hands out of nowhere. It flows to you through ideas, insights, and opportunities. True prosperity is often the result of a single inspired idea. One idea can change the course of your entire life. It can lead you to a new career path, a better way of handling your finances, a business that thrives, or a creative solution to a long-standing problem. And here's the key. These ideas don't come from your limited conscious mind. They come from the infinite mind within you. Joseph Murphy often said, there is within you an infinite intelligence, far wiser than your conscious reasoning. When you turn inward in faith, it will guide you to right action, right decisions, and right opportunities. So what is this infinite mind? It's the deeper part of you that's connected to universal intelligence. The same intelligence that keeps the planets in orbit, that grows trees from seeds, that beats your heart without you thinking about it. It knows the answers your logical mind can't see. It knows the fastest path to your success. But most of us are too busy worrying, doubting, or overthinking to hear it. The conscious mind is noisy. It analyzes, it plans, it panics. The infinite mind speaks quietly, like a soft nudge, a sudden insight, a subtle knowing. To receive its guidance, you must quiet the surface noise and open yourself to it. So how do you do that? Step 1. Understand that ideas are the real wealth. Many people pray for money, but Joseph Murphy explained that it's more effective to ask for guidance and inspired ideas. Money is the result, not the cause. For example, think of all the wealthy people who started with just one idea, an idea for a product, a service, a book, a solution. The idea came first, the wealth followed. So instead of saying, I need more money, shift your request to something like, infinite intelligence within me, reveal the perfect idea, the perfect opportunity, the perfect way for me to prosper and serve others. That one shift in focus opens the door for creativity and solutions you hadn't considered before. Step 2. Tune into intuition through stillness. You can't force inspiration. It comes when your mind is calm and receptive. Think about the times you've had aha moments, maybe in the shower, while walking in nature, or just before falling asleep. Those moments happen when you're relaxed, when your conscious mind stops trying so hard. So make time each day for quiet stillness. It doesn't have to be long. Even 5 or 10 minutes of deep breathing, sitting in silence, or gentle meditation is enough. As you sit quietly, you might silently affirm, I am open and receptive to the perfect ideas that bring wealth, harmony, and fulfillment. The infinite mind within me knows exactly what to do. Don't try to figure it out. Just be still. Let the answers come in their own time. Step 3. Ask the right questions before sleep. Joseph Murphy often recommended using this sleep method for guidance. Before you go to bed, frame a clear, positive question for your subconscious mind. For example, what is the best way for me to increase my income? What is my next right step toward financial freedom? What idea will help me prosper and help others at the same time? Then, as you drift into sleep, repeat calmly, the infinite intelligence within me reveals the perfect answer now. I give thanks for the clear guidance I receive. When you do this, your subconscious mind works all night on the question, drawing from the unlimited wisdom of the infinite mind. You may wake up with a sudden insight, or the answer may come later as a quiet inner knowing or an unexpected coincidence. Murphy shared many stories of people who used this method to receive life-changing ideas. One businessman asked for guidance before sleep when his company was failing. Within days, he woke with a new plan for restructuring that saved the business and led to even greater success. Step 4. Follow the gentle nudges. When you receive an idea, it may not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it's just a simple thought. Call this person, look into this field, try this approach. Don't dismiss it because it seems small. Inspired ideas often start as small seeds. When you act on them, they grow. Trust the process. Take the first step that feels right. One idea will lead to another, and doors will begin to open that you couldn't see before. Step 5. Keep a guidance journal. When you start tuning into your intuition, you may notice many little insights throughout the day. Write them down. Keep a journal where you record any ideas, nudges, or synchronicities. This does two things. It trains your mind to pay attention to inner guidance. It shows you patterns over time, helping you see how the infinite mind is already working with you. Often, the answer you're looking for is not far away. It's just hidden under layers of worry, doubt, or overthinking. Writing things down clears mental clutter and makes the guidance clearer. A story of prosperity through a simple idea. Joseph Murphy told of a man who was unemployed and desperate for money. Instead of repeatedly praying for cash, he began asking for an inspired idea that would benefit others and create prosperity. He used the sleep method nightly, affirming, "The infinite intelligence within me reveals my perfect way of service and abundance. I'm guided to the right idea now." Within a week, he had a dream about a small but useful household tool. He woke up and wrote it down. At first, it seemed silly, but the idea kept nudging him. He made a simple prototype and showed it to a few friends. They loved it. Soon, he partnered with a local manufacturer, and the product became a steady income source. What changed? Not his external situation at first, but his inner connection to the infinite mind. The guidance was always there. He just had to ask and listen. Step 6. Trust the infinite timing. Sometimes the answer won't come instantly. Don't get discouraged. When you've asked sincerely and opened your mind, the guidance will always come, sometimes in a direct idea, other times through an unexpected person, event, or conversation. Remember, the infinite mind knows the perfect timing. Trust that even if you can't see the whole picture yet, the path is unfolding. Your new prosperity practice. Here's a simple daily practice for unlocking ideas. Morning. Sit quietly for a few minutes and affirm, "Today, I'm open to inspired ideas that bring me prosperity and bless others." My inner guidance leads me clearly and easily. During the day, when you face a decision or problem, pause and say, "Infinite intelligence within me knows the answer now." I listen with calm trust. Night. Before sleep, ask a clear, positive question and affirm, "I give thanks for the perfect idea that is now revealed to me." Then let it go. Don't force it. Trust that the answer will surface naturally. Why this works? The infinite mind is always communicating with you. It's like a radio station broadcasting 24/7. But you have to tune your inner receiver to the right frequency. When you're tense, fearful, or overthinking, the signal is full of static. When you relax, trust, and stay open, the signal becomes clear. And when the signal is clear, the ideas you receive are often simple, practical, and surprisingly effective. Joseph Murphy summed it up perfectly. The answer is within you. The solution is within you. The ideas are within you. Turn inward in quiet confidence, and the infinite mind will reveal all you need to know. So instead of chasing money, chase inspired ideas. Instead of forcing solutions, open yourself to inner guidance. One idea from the infinite mind can do more for your prosperity than years of struggle. Right now, take a deep breath and say quietly, "Infinite intelligence within me. I am open and receptive to inspired ideas that bring me wealth, peace, and fulfillment. Guide me clearly and easily now. Thank you." Then move forward with trust. The answers you seek are already within you, waiting to be revealed. Daily wealth rituals. Wealth doesn't just appear randomly. It's the result of the state of mind you carry throughout your day. Your outer reality is a reflection of your inner patterns. That means creating prosperity isn't just about what you do occasionally. It's about what you practice consistently. Joseph Murphy emphasized that your subconscious mind is always taking suggestions, whether you give them deliberately or unconsciously. So the small things you say, think, and feel each day matter far more than you realize. That's why daily wealth rituals are so powerful. They're simple, repeatable practices that align your mind with abundance and train your subconscious to expect good. Think of them as gentle reminders that wealth is your natural state. Let's explore 3 key rituals you can weave into your day. A morning routine that sets the tone, quick mental exercises to stay aligned, and a gratitude practice that amplifies abundance. 1. Morning rituals to set a prosperous tone. The first few minutes after you wake up are incredibly powerful. Your mind is still in a relaxed, receptive state, closer to the subconscious level than at any other time during the day. That means the thoughts you choose in those moments have a strong, imprinting effect. Most people start their mornings in a rush, worrying about bills, checking stressful news, or reliving yesterday's problems. That's like programming your day with scarcity before it even begins. Instead, you can deliberately plant seeds of abundance. When you wake up, take a deep breath and give thanks that you're alive, healthy, and capable of creating new opportunities. Then, before you reach for your phone or get out of bed, repeat a simple prosperity affirmation, such as, "Today is a wonderful new day filled with abundance. I am open and receptive to all the good life has for me. Prosperity flows to me easily and effortlessly." Feel the words, even for a moment. Imagine your day unfolding smoothly, new ideas appearing, helpful people crossing your path, unexpected blessings arriving. You can also visualize yourself living your ideal financial life. See yourself smiling as you pay bills with ease, enjoying the freedom to do what you love, feeling secure and fulfilled. Even 2 to 3 minutes of this mental rehearsal in the morning creates a powerful vibration of wealth. Next, set a simple daily intention. It could be something like, "Today, I expect good news about money. Today, I'm guided to the right ideas and opportunities. Today, I radiate confidence and attract abundance naturally." This intention becomes like a compass for your subconscious mind. If you have a few more minutes, write in a small notebook 3 things you're grateful for and 3 things you'd like to welcome today. For example, "I'm grateful for the home I live in, the food I eat, and the people who care for me. Today, I welcome clarity, inspiration, and a new opportunity to increase my income." This morning ritual doesn't need to be long. Just 5 to 10 minutes is enough. But by doing it consistently, you start each day already aligned with abundance, rather than scrambling to fix problems. 2. Quick mental exercises to stay aligned with wealth. Even with the best morning routine, the day can bring distractions, challenges, and old thought patterns. That's why it's helpful to have a few quick reset exercises you can do anytime you feel yourself slipping into worry or scarcity thinking. Here are 3 simple but powerful techniques. The 30-second wealth breath. Whenever you feel anxious about money, pause and take a slow, deep breath. As you inhale, silently say, "I am open to abundance." As you exhale, say, "I release all fear and doubt." Repeat this for just 3 breaths. This quick practice calms your nervous system and reminds your subconscious that you are safe and supported. The silent blessing. Throughout the day, when you see someone driving a nice car, wearing beautiful clothes, or living in a lovely home, instead of feeling envy, silently bless them. Say, "I bless their abundance, and I know more than enough exists for all of us." This trains your mind to associate wealth with positive feelings instead of comparison or resentment. And because your subconscious doesn't separate you from others, what you bless in them, you invite for yourself. The prosperity reset phrase. When you catch yourself thinking thoughts like, "I can't afford that," or "money is so hard to come by," gently interrupt it with a new statement. Say to yourself, "Stop. I choose a new thought. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I'm always provided for." Even if you don't fully believe it at first, repeating it consistently starts to rewire your mental patterns. These tiny micro-rituals take just seconds, but they keep you aligned throughout the day. 3. Gratitude practice to amplify abundance. Gratitude is one of the most magnetic states of mind you can cultivate. Why? Because when you appreciate what you already have, you tell your subconscious that you live in a world of plenty. And the subconscious always seeks to make your outer world match your inner feeling. Joseph Murphy often reminded his readers, "Whatever you give thanks for grows in your experience." Gratitude is the law of increase. So make it a habit to notice and appreciate even the smallest blessings. Here's a simple way to practice gratitude for wealth. When you pay a bill, instead of grumbling, say, "I'm grateful for the service this provides, and I know more money is on the way." When you receive any amount of money, even a small coin or discount, say, "Thank you for this sign of abundance. I welcome more like this." At the end of the day, write down 3 moments of abundance you noticed. Maybe someone treated you to coffee, you found extra money in your pocket, or you simply enjoyed a peaceful moment. This daily acknowledgement trains your mind to focus on wealth instead of lack. Another powerful gratitude ritual is to give in some small way each day. It doesn't have to be money. You can give your time, kindness, or help to someone. When you give with joy, you activate the law of circulation, keeping the flow of abundance moving in your life. Why daily rituals work? You might wonder, can something this simple really change my finances? Yes, because it's not about the ritual itself. It's about the state of mind it creates. Wealth is not just about action, it's about vibration. When you consistently start your day with positive expectation, gently redirect your thoughts during the day, and end with gratitude, you're training your subconscious to live in a mental atmosphere of abundance. And when that inner atmosphere shifts, your outer reality follows through new ideas, opportunities, and synchronicities. A quick example. Imagine two people. One wakes up worried, checks their phone immediately, thinks about their debt, and rushes out the door stressed. Throughout the day, they notice all the things they don't have and complain about how expensive everything is. The other wakes up calmly, takes a minute to visualize their ideal day, and affirms, "Today I expect good." They bless the wealth they see in others, redirect fearful thoughts, and end the day by giving thanks for even the smallest blessings. Who do you think will be more open to inspired ideas, better decisions, and unexpected opportunities? The difference isn't luck, it's daily mental alignment. Your 5-minute wealth ritual. To make this easy, here's a simple 5-minute ritual you can start tomorrow morning. Breathe and give thanks for waking up. Feel gratitude for your life, your body, and the new day. Affirm abundance. Say something like, "I'm open to all the good life has for me. Today is filled with new opportunities and prosperity." Visualize one small financial win. Imagine receiving a payment, a new client, or a surprise gift. Set a clear intention. For example, "Today I expect clarity and guidance for my next step toward wealth." Smile and start your day with calm confidence. This tiny ritual sets the tone for everything that follows. Joseph Murphy beautifully said, "Prosperity is a state of mind. Cultivate it daily, and it will express itself in your outer world in perfect ways." So don't underestimate the power of these simple daily wealth rituals. Do them consistently, and you'll notice subtle shifts, more peace, more inspiration, and yes, more material abundance flowing into your life. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your life begins to mirror the inner prosperity you've cultivated day by day, living as if the money is already here. One of the most powerful teachings Joseph Murphy shared about wealth is this: your subconscious mind doesn't respond to what you want in the future. It responds to what you accept as true right now. This means if you constantly think, "I hope I'll be rich one day," your subconscious doesn't see it as a present reality. It only hears, "I don't have it yet." And because your subconscious simply reflects back the mental state you dwell in, your outer life keeps matching the feeling of not yet. But when you shift your inner state to "I already live in abundance," everything changes. This is the secret of living as if the money is already here. It's not about pretending or faking it. It's about embodying the feeling of already being wealthy, already being provided for, already being secure. When you live in that inner vibration, your subconscious aligns with it, and your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match. Joseph Murphy explained it like this: the law of your subconscious is belief. Believe you are wealthy now, and you will be. So how do you live as if without feeling like you're lying to yourself? Let's break it down into 3 practical steps. 1. The psychological power of assuming success. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined state and a real experience. If you repeatedly assume a new state as true in your mind, it begins to feel natural, and what feels natural becomes your new reality. For example, imagine a person who constantly says, "I'm always broke. I never have enough money." That assumption feels normal to them. They expect lack, so they unconsciously make decisions that keep them in that state. Now imagine someone who assumes, "Money flows to me easily. I always have more than I need." That assumption also becomes normal for them. They expect abundance, so they naturally notice opportunities, act with confidence, and attract experiences that match that inner belief. Assumption creates reality because your subconscious always works to confirm what you deeply feel is true. Joseph Murphy taught a simple affirmation for this: "I am wealthy now. I am prosperous now. Wealth flows to me freely and abundantly now." Notice the key word now, not someday, not later, now. When you affirm wealth as a present reality, your subconscious begins to accept it and look for ways to express it. 2. Acting from abundance instead of desperation. When you're living in lack, your actions come from fear and desperation. You might cling to every penny, say yes to things you don't want out of worry, or avoid taking risks because you're afraid to lose what little you have. But when you live as if the money is already here, your actions come from calm confidence. You make decisions from a place of trust rather than fear. You invest in yourself wisely. You give with joy. You attract better circumstances because your energy is expansive, not constricted. This doesn't mean recklessly spending money you don't have. It means carrying yourself with the energy of someone who knows they're supported. For example, instead of constantly talking about what you can't afford, talk about the value you're creating and the blessings already around you. Instead of hoarding out of fear, circulate money joyfully, even in small ways, knowing it will return multiplied. Instead of approaching opportunities with the mindset, I desperately need this to work, approach with I'm already abundant. This is just one of many channels for more good to come. When you shift your internal state, the quality of your actions changes, and so do the results. 3. Training your subconscious with now reality. So how do you train your mind to feel as if the wealth is already here? Here are some practical techniques. Mental rehearsal. Spend a few minutes each day vividly imagining yourself already living your ideal financial life. See yourself paying bills with ease, feeling relaxed about money, enjoying the things you desire without stress. The key is to feel the emotions now. Don't just see it. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom. Your subconscious doesn't care whether it's physically happening or just imagined. It accepts the feeling as a present reality. Speak in the present tense. The language you use matters. Stop saying things like I'll be rich someday, or when I get more money, I'll be happy. Those statements push your desire into the future. Instead, say, I am wealthy now. I live in abundance now. Money comes to me easily and continuously now. Even if your outer situation hasn't changed yet, keep affirming the new reality. Over time, your subconscious begins to believe it, and your actions, decisions, and circumstances shift. Align your environment. Look around your living space. Does it reflect scarcity or abundance? You don't need luxury, but you can create an atmosphere of care and order. Clean, declutter, and arrange your space in a way that makes you feel uplifted. Even small upgrades, a fresh plant, a neatly organized workspace, a clean wallet, signal to your subconscious that you value yourself and your life. When you treat your current surroundings with respect, you invite more. Act in small ways that reflect wealth. Again, this doesn't mean spending beyond your means. It means behaving like someone who trusts in abundance. For example, if you go out to eat, leave a kind tip even if it's small. If you find a coin on the ground, pick it up with gratitude instead of dismissing it. If someone compliments you, accept it graciously instead of downplaying it. These small actions tell your subconscious, I'm already wealthy in spirit, and wealth multiplies wherever I go. A real-life example. Joseph Murphy shared a story of a woman who was drowning in debt and constantly stressed about money. She felt trapped, believing she could only feel secure after the debt was gone. He asked her to reverse the approach. He told her to start feeling abundant now. Even before her circumstances changed, she began a simple daily practice. Every morning she said, I am financially free now. Money flows to me in perfect ways. I live in peace and plenty now. At night, she visualized herself writing a final check to clear her debts and feeling completely free. At first, nothing changed outwardly. But after a few weeks, she noticed a shift inside. Less fear, more calm. Then opportunities began appearing. She got unexpected freelance work. Someone repaid an old loan, and she was guided to a program that consolidated her debt at a lower rate. Within months, her financial situation improved dramatically. The outer change started with the inner assumption. Why this works? Living as if the money is already here aligns your inner world with the result you want. It breaks the mental habit of waiting for external proof before feeling abundant. When you wait for money to make you feel rich, you're trapped in a loop. I don't feel abundant because I don't have money, and I don't have money because I don't feel abundant. But when you flip it, when you feel abundant first, your subconscious sees it as your normal state and works to make it real. Your daily practice. Here's a simple way to practice living as if. Morning, affirm, I am already abundant. Today is filled with wealth, opportunities, and blessings. Throughout the day, carry yourself as someone who is secure and confident. Make decisions calmly, without desperation. Evening, visualize your ideal financial life and feel gratitude as if it's already done. Do this daily. At first, it may feel strange, but with repetition, it becomes natural. And what feels natural to your subconscious becomes your reality. Joseph Murphy summed it up beautifully. Believe you are wealthy now. Assume the feeling of wealth now, and you will be. So stop waiting for the right time to feel rich. Don't postpone your peace, confidence, and joy. Start living it inwardly now, in small ways, in your thoughts, in your emotions. Because the truth is, the money isn't what gives you freedom. It's the state of mind you cultivate. And when that state becomes real inside you, the outer wealth inevitably follows. Releasing the past, welcoming the new. One of the most subtle yet powerful blocks to wealth is the weight of the past. Many people live today still carrying the heavy burden of old financial mistakes, regrets, or failures. They replay the time they lost money, made a poor investment, or trusted someone who betrayed them. They think about the job they didn't get, the opportunity they missed, the debt they created. Even if they don't speak about it out loud, they quietly carry guilt, shame, or disappointment around money. Joseph Murphy often reminded his readers that the subconscious mind holds on to these unresolved feelings, and because it mirrors whatever you consistently impress upon it, it keeps recreating similar experiences. As he put it, you cannot move into a prosperous future while mentally living in a past of loss and failure. Release the old patterns, and your subconscious will respond with new blessings. If you want to welcome abundance, you must clear the mental and emotional clutter of yesterday. Let's explore how to do this in a practical way. 1. Letting go of financial regrets. Almost everyone has made money mistakes. Maybe you spent recklessly when you were younger. Maybe you ignored good advice. Maybe you trusted the wrong person. Or maybe circumstances beyond your control caused hardship. But here's the truth. No amount of guilt or regret can change what already happened. Dwelling on it doesn't fix it. It just keeps you tied to it. Joseph Murphy emphasized that the past has no power except the power you give it through your attention. When you keep replaying your mistakes, you're sending a signal to your subconscious that this is who I am, a person who fails with money. But you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. Right now, in this very moment, you have the ability to plant new seeds in your mind. But you can't plant new seeds if the soil is still crowded with weeds of regret. So how do you release it? Forgive yourself. Truly, deeply, fully. Understand that you did the best you could with the awareness and resources you had at the time. You can say quietly, I forgive myself for every past mistake with money. I release all guilt and shame now. I bless my past and set it free. I am open to new beginnings. Repeat this gently until it begins to feel lighter. Remember, forgiveness isn't about saying what happened was good. It's about freeing yourself from carrying it anymore. 2. Creating mental space for new blessings. Think of your mind like a room. If it's already cluttered with old furniture, there's no space for new pieces. In the same way, if your inner world is filled with memories of lack and failure, there's no room for fresh ideas, new opportunities, or inspired action. When you clear the mental clutter, you create an open space where abundance can flow. A simple way to do this is to stop retelling the old stories. How often do you say things like, I've always been bad with money. I'm still paying for the mistakes I made years ago. It's too late for me to recover financially. Every time you speak those words, you reinforce the past as your present identity. Instead, you can shift the narrative. Say, I am learning better ways to manage and grow my money. I release the past with love and step into a fresh future. It's never too late for new blessings to flow into my life. Notice the difference in energy. One keeps you stuck, the other opens a door. You can also physically declutter something in your environment as a symbolic act. Clear out old papers and used items or anything that feels heavy and tied to past financial stress. As you do, affirm, I release the old and welcome the new. 3. Embracing the gift of a fresh start. The most beautiful truth is that life is always renewing itself. The same energy that makes flowers bloom again in spring, that brings the sun up every morning, is available to you right now. You're not bound by yesterday's decisions. The infinite mind within you is not limited by what happened before. The universe doesn't keep a scorecard of your past mistakes. It only responds to your present state of mind. Joseph Murphy often reminded his readers that the subconscious doesn't know time. It doesn't care how long you've struggled or how many times you failed. The moment you impress it with a new belief, it begins working to make it real. So even if you've spent years living in lack, you can start over today. Right now, you can choose a fresh thought, a fresh feeling, a fresh mental picture. And here's the powerful affirmation Murphy suggested for fresh starts. I am born anew in the spirit of abundance. The past is gone. It no longer has any power over me. Today is a new day of prosperity, peace, and endless possibilities. Say it slowly. Feel it. Imagine yourself stepping into a new chapter of your life, leaving behind the heavy baggage of the past. 4. Turning past failures into wisdom. Another way to release the past is to reframe it. Instead of seeing past financial difficulties as pure failures, see them as teachers. Ask yourself, what did I learn from that experience? How did it make me wiser? How can I use that wisdom moving forward? When you extract the lesson, you no longer feel like a victim of the past. You feel empowered by it. Maybe you learned the importance of saving, or the value of trusting your intuition, or how to spot better opportunities. Even painful mistakes can leave behind seeds of wisdom that guide you to better choices now. So bless your past for what it taught you, and then let it go. 5. Welcoming the new. Once you've released the past, you create space for the new. But don't just wait passively, welcome it actively. How do you welcome the new? By expecting it, by looking for it, by speaking as if it's already on the way. Start each day with a simple statement. Something wonderful is unfolding for me today. I am ready for new opportunities, new blessings, and new prosperity. Notice small signs of improvement. Celebrate little wins, a new idea, a kind word, an unexpected gift. The more you notice the good, the more it multiplies. And when new opportunities come, embrace them with an open heart instead of doubting them. A story of renewal. Joseph Murphy told a man who had gone bankrupt in his 40s. He was crushed with shame and convinced his life was over. Murphy guided him through a process of release. He had the man repeat daily, "I forgive myself for the past. I release it completely. I now open my mind and heart to new opportunities for wealth and success." The man also stopped telling everyone about his failure and instead began affirming a new future. Within a year, he was offered a partnership in new business that not only restored his finances, but gave him even greater success than before. The turning point wasn't in his outer situation. It was the inner release. Why releasing the past frees you? You can't build a new financial life while clinging to the old one emotionally. Regret and resentment keep you chained to the very thing you want to escape. When you let go, you free your subconscious to create something new. You stop blocking the flow of inspiration and opportunity. You step into the present moment where all true power exists. Your simple release ritual. Here's a quick practice you can do today. Take a quiet moment. Close your eyes and bring to mind any past financial regrets. Feel the heaviness of them briefly. Say aloud, "I release you now. You no longer have power over me. I bless my past and set it free." Visualize those old memories dissolving like mist, leaving you feeling lighter and freer. Affirm, "I am open to new beginnings. I welcome fresh ideas, new opportunities, and new prosperity now." Do this as often as needed until the past no longer feels heavy. Joseph Murphy beautifully summed it up. Forgive the past, bless it, and let it go. As you release the old, the new rushes in to take its place. So don't carry yesterday's failures into today. Don't let old mistakes define you. You are more than your history. You are a creator, capable of new beginnings at any moment. Right now, in this very breath, you can release the old and welcome the new. And when you do, you'll find that life responds with fresh energy, fresh opportunities, and a future that feels lighter, freer, and infinitely more abundant. Mastering wealth consciousness permanently. When you begin shifting your inner relationship with money, releasing the past, thinking prosperous thoughts, feeling wealthy now, you start to see changes. Maybe you notice small financial blessings, new ideas, or even a greater sense of peace about money. But here's an important truth. Wealth consciousness isn't something you achieve once and forget about. Just like physical fitness, it requires ongoing care. Your old patterns didn't develop overnight. They were formed over years of repetition, through what you heard growing up, what you believed about money, and the experiences that reinforce those beliefs. If you're not careful, it's easy to slip back into those familiar patterns, especially when external circumstances trigger old fears. Joseph Murphy often emphasized that prosperity is a state of consciousness, not a one-time event. To truly live in wealth permanently, you must maintain the mental and emotional blueprint you've created. So how do you keep your new money consciousness intact? Avoid falling back into scarcity thinking and turn prosperity into a natural way of living. Let's explore. 1. Understanding why old patterns try to return. Before we talk about maintaining wealth consciousness, let's understand why old patterns sometimes creep back in. Your subconscious loves familiarity. Even if those old beliefs were limiting, like money is hard to come by or I never have enough, they were familiar, and the mind tends to return to what feels familiar, especially during stress. For example, you might feel abundant for weeks, then an unexpected bill arrives, and suddenly the old fear shows up. See, nothing really changes. It's always a struggle. This doesn't mean you've failed. It just means your subconscious is still adjusting to your new beliefs. Think of it like learning a new skill. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. The key is to notice when old thoughts appear and gently redirect them without judgment. Over time, the new prosperous way of thinking becomes your new normal. 2. How to keep your new money blueprint intact. So, what does it actually look like to maintain your wealth consciousness? It's about small, consistent habits that keep your mind aligned with abundance. A. Daily mental nourishment. Your mind needs daily reminders of abundance. Just like you feed your body every day, you must feed your mind with positive, prosperous thoughts. Take a few minutes each morning or evening to affirm your wealth consciousness. For example, I live in an abundant universe. Money is my servant. It comes to me easily and flows freely. I am always divinely guided to prosperity and success. Read or listen to uplifting material about abundance regularly. Joseph Murphy's own book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, or other prosperity classics can reinforce your new mental blueprint. B. Stay aware of your words. Words are seeds. Be mindful of how you talk about money. Avoid phrases like I'm broke or I can't afford it. Even if you're currently budgeting carefully, choose empowering language. Instead of "I can't afford that," say "That's not a priority for me right now." Instead of "Money is tight," say "I'm learning to use money wisely and more is flowing in." Your words shape your subconscious belief, so speak as someone who lives in abundance. C. Celebrate progress. Notice and celebrate even small wins. Did you save a little extra? Did someone gift you something unexpectedly? Did you have a new idea to create income? Appreciate these as signs that your wealth consciousness is working. Gratitude amplifies abundance. What you acknowledge and appreciate multiplies. 3. Avoiding old patterns and staying aligned. To avoid slipping back into old scarcity thinking, you need awareness. Here are some common triggers that can pull people back into lack consciousness and how to handle them. Fear of unexpected expenses. Maybe an unexpected bill arrives, and your mind immediately panics. C. I'll never get ahead. Instead, pause and remind yourself, I'm always provided for. There is more than enough to meet this need. I trust the flow of abundance. Comparing yourself to others. Seeing someone else's wealth can trigger envy or self-doubt. Instead of thinking, why them and not me? Choose, I bless their success, knowing there is endless abundance for everyone, including me. Dwelling on past mistakes. If you catch yourself thinking about old financial failures, gently say, that was the past. I've learned from it and released it. Today, I create a new future. When you notice old patterns arising, don't scold yourself. Simply redirect. Think of it like gently steering a car back on course when it drifts. Over time, the new path becomes automatic. 4. Turning prosperity into a natural way of living. True wealth consciousness isn't about affirmations you repeat occasionally. It's about making abundance your normal mindset. When it becomes natural to expect good, you no longer have to try so hard. It's simply who you are. Here are ways to make prosperity your natural state. A. Build prosperous habits. Live in a way that reflects trust in abundance, even in small ways. Keep your wallet or purse organized as a symbol of respect for money. Circulate money with joy. Give small tips. Donate a little. Treat yourself occasionally. Invest in your personal growth and well-being, trusting that it multiplies your value. B. Surround yourself with positive influence. The people and environments you engage with affect your mindset. Surround yourself with people who think expansively, who talk about opportunities instead of problems, who inspire you to grow. If your environment constantly reinforces scarcity, it takes more effort to stay aligned. Even changing what you read, watch, or listen to can lift your consciousness. C. See wealth in all areas of life. True prosperity isn't just money. It's health, relationships, creativity, peace of mind. When you notice and appreciate the richness in all areas, you naturally feel abundant. And feeling abundant attracts more financial abundance as well. Take time to recognize the wealth of air you breathe, the beauty of nature, the kindness of others. This broader view of prosperity keeps your mind open and expansive. D. Keep expanding your vision. Once you reach one level of financial comfort, don't stagnate. Continue expanding your vision, not from greed, but from a desire to express more of your potential. Ask yourself, how can I create even more value for others? How can I grow my wealth in a way that blesses more lives? When your wealth consciousness is tied to contribution, it stays fresh and alive. 5. A daily alignment ritual. To keep prosperity flowing permanently, create a simple daily ritual that reinforces it. Here's an example you can do in 5 minutes. Morning gratitude. Upon waking, list 3 things you're grateful for right now, big or small. Affirmation. Say, today I live in abundance. Money flows to me freely. I expect only good in all areas of life. Evening reflection. Before bed, recall any sign of abundance you noticed that day. A kind gesture, a new idea, even a small saving. Give thanks for it and say, tomorrow will bring even more. These tiny daily actions keep your subconscious focused on wealth and prevent the drift back into old scarcity habits. 6. The secret of effortless prosperity. At first, mastering wealth consciousness may feel like effort, catching old thoughts, repeating affirmations, staying aware. But over time, it becomes effortless because your subconscious adopts it as the new norm. Think of learning to ride a bicycle. At first, you wobbled and had to consciously balance. But after enough practice, it became automatic. Wealth consciousness works the same way. Once it's deeply impressed in your subconscious, you naturally think, feel, and act from abundance without overthinking it. That's when prosperity becomes self-sustaining. Opportunities seem to appear at the right time. Money comes from unexpected sources. You make better decisions intuitively. You radiate calm, confidence that attracts the right people and situations. Joseph Murphy described it beautifully. When you have a wealthy consciousness, You will find that money, ideas, and opportunities come to you in divine order. You will simply be in the right place at the right time. 7. Living as a channel for wealth. The ultimate stage of mastering wealth consciousness is realizing that prosperity isn't just for you. It flows through you. You become a channel for abundance. You're blessed, and because you're blessed, you bless others through generosity, through creating value, through sharing knowledge or resources. When you see yourself as part of the larger flow of good, you never fear lack. You know the source is infinite, and as you give, you also receive. This shift from accumulating wealth to circulating wealth keeps you in harmony with the universal law of abundance. Your permanent wealth consciousness. To master wealth consciousness permanently, remember these key points. Keep feeding your mind with prosperous thoughts daily. Redirect old patterns gently when they arise. Make abundance a natural part of your lifestyle through habits, words, and actions. See prosperity as more than money. Recognize it everywhere. Expand your wealth not just for yourself, but as a way to bless others. When you live this way consistently, prosperity stops being something you chase. It becomes the natural expression of who you are. Joseph Murphy summed it up simply. Change your mind, and you change your destiny. Prosperity is yours the moment you accept it in consciousness. So keep your mind aligned. Keep your thoughts rich. Keep your heart open. Soon, you'll find that wealth is not a temporary visitor. It's a permanent resident in your life. By now, you've learned how your subconscious mind shapes your financial reality. You've explored the power of emotions, visualization, affirmations, forgiveness, and creating new prosperous habits. But here's the key. Knowledge alone doesn't create change. Daily practice does. The subconscious is like fertile soil. What you plant repeatedly is what grows. And just like any seed, it needs consistent nurturing before you see the harvest. That's why Joseph Murphy always emphasized the importance of repetition. To reprogram your mind for lasting wealth, you must feed it new ideas every single day until they become your natural way of thinking. This is where the 30-day prosperity challenge comes in. It's a simple but powerful routine that aligns your thoughts, feelings, and actions with abundance every single day. If you truly commit to these 30 days, you will notice subtle but undeniable shifts, not just in your mindset, but in the opportunities and synchronicities that appear around you. And once you've completed 30 days, you'll have built a foundation that can carry you into a lifelong journey of wealth and freedom. Let's break it down step by step. Step 1. Morning alignment. Start your day with wealth consciousness. How you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people wake up and immediately check their phones, scroll through news, or think about their problems. That's like planting weeds in your mental garden before the day has even begun. Instead, dedicate the first 10 minutes every morning to aligning your mind with abundance. Here's a simple morning routine. Gratitude awakening, 2 minutes. Before you even get out of bed, mentally list at least 3 things you're grateful for. It could be your health, your home, your loved ones, or simply the fact that you woke up today with another chance to grow. Gratitude shifts your vibration instantly. Wealth affirmation, 2 minutes. Stand in front of a mirror or sit quietly with your eyes closed and affirm. I am wealthy now. Money flows to me easily and abundantly. Today, I expect only good things to happen in every area of my life. Say it slowly, with feeling, as if it's already true. Visualization, 3 to 5 minutes. Close your eyes and imagine yourself already living your desired financial life. See yourself paying bills with ease, enjoying experiences you love, helping others, feeling secure. Engage your senses. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? These few minutes create a mental blueprint that your subconscious will begin working on throughout the day. Step 2, daytime awareness. Stay connected to prosperity. During the day, life will test your focus. You may face challenges, bills, or negative conversations that try to pull you back into old scarcity thinking. Here's how to stay aligned throughout the day. Pause and reframe. If you catch yourself saying, I can't afford this, or I'll never get ahead, pause. Take a breath. Replace it with a better thought, like, I'm learning new ways to attract money, or I know more opportunities are coming my way. Bless every transaction. When you spend money, don't resent it. Silently say, I bless this money and know it returns to me multiplied. This keeps you in the flow of circulation rather than fear. Notice abundance around you. Throughout the day, make it a game to spot abundance in all forms. A beautiful sunset, a helpful friend, a free resource you discovered. Recognizing non-financial wealth keeps your mindset open and expansive. This simple awareness practice stops you from slipping back into autopilot scarcity thinking. Step 3, evening reset, reprogram while you sleep. The final moments before sleep are the most powerful for impressing new ideas on your subconscious. Here's a simple nighttime practice. Reflect with gratitude. Think of 3 things that went well today, no matter how small. Maybe you had a good idea. Maybe someone was kind to you. Maybe you simply felt peaceful. Acknowledge and give thanks. Release the day. If anything bothered you, worries, regrets, doubts, mentally say, I release it now. Tomorrow is a fresh start. Don't carry today's energy into tomorrow. Bedtime affirmation. As you drift off to sleep, repeat softly in your mind, I am wealthy now. My subconscious is creating more prosperity for me as I rest. I live in a universe of endless abundance. Your subconscious will work on this truth while you sleep, planting seeds for a better tomorrow. Step 4. Track your journey. For these 30 days, keep a small prosperity journal. Each day, jot down 1 positive money thought or insight you had, 1 sign of abundance you noticed, 1 small action you took toward your financial goals. Why is this important? Because your mind needs evidence that things are shifting. As you document even tiny signs of progress, you build confidence and momentum. It could be as simple as, someone bought me coffee today. I found $10 I had forgotten about. I had an idea for a new income stream. At the end of 30 days, you'll look back and see how much has changed, not just externally, but within you. Step 5. Small inspired actions. Wealth consciousness isn't just about thinking differently. It also leads to acting differently. During these 30 days, listen for intuitive nudges. Maybe you feel inspired to reach out to someone, learn a new skill, or try a small side project. Don't ignore these impulses. They are often your subconscious guiding you to new opportunities. Even the smallest action can open doors. You're not forcing things. You're flowing with the ideas and chances that naturally arise as your inner state shifts. Expanding beyond 30 days. So what happens after the 30 days? By then, your mind will already feel lighter and more open. You'll notice fewer fear-based thoughts and more calm expectancy. You might see external signs too. Unexpected money, new opportunities, or a new sense of peace with your finances. But the 30 days are just the beginning. They're a reset, a way to establish new mental habits. To create a lifelong wealth journey, you continue the practices in a way that feels natural. Here's how to expand beyond 30 days. Choose 1 to 2 core practices to keep daily. Maybe it's your morning gratitude and visualization, or your nightly affirmation. You don't need to do everything forever, just enough to keep your subconscious aligned. Keep growing your vision. As you reach 1 level of abundance, don't settle. Keep asking, how can I expand even more? How can I use my wealth to create a bigger impact? Stay connected to prosperity teachings. Continue reading, listening, or learning from wealth consciousness teachers. When you surround yourself with uplifting ideas, it's harder to slip back into lack. Circulate abundance. As you receive more, give more. Share your wealth, whether it's money, kindness, or knowledge. The more you circulate, the more flows back to you. With time, wealth stops feeling like something out there you need to chase. It becomes who you are, a natural expression of your inner state. What you'll discover along the way. Something magical happens when you commit to this journey. You realize that true prosperity isn't just about money. Yes, money will flow more easily. But even more importantly, you'll feel more peaceful, confident, and free. You'll notice abundance in places you never saw before. Opportunities, relationships, health, creativity. Your energy will change. People will notice. And because your outer world reflects your inner world, your life will begin to mirror this new, expansive state of being. Why this works? This 30-day challenge works because it does 3 essential things. It reprograms your subconscious with new thoughts and images of wealth. It builds emotional alignment, helping you feel wealthy before external proof. It creates consistent habits, turning prosperity into a daily practice rather than a random wish. Remember, the universe responds to your inner state, not your struggles, not your desperate wishing, but your calm, confident expectation of good. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep living by the old patterns that have given you the same results, or you can decide, for the next 30 days, I will think, feel, and act as if I truly live in an abundant universe. 30 days is enough to change your momentum. It's enough to plant new seeds and see the first sprouts of a new financial life. And once you've seen what's possible, you'll never go back. This is your moment to begin. Take 1 simple step today. Write down your commitment. Start your morning gratitude. Speak 1 powerful affirmation. And as you go through these 30 days, share your journey with others. We would love to hear where you're starting from. Comment below with your location and the time you're beginning this challenge. We're curious to see where this prosperity movement is reaching across the world. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel ready to create a new financial destiny, make sure you like this video, subscribe for more powerful teachings, and share it with someone who needs this right now. Because wealth isn't just for a few. It's for all who open their minds to receive it. And that journey starts now, 1 thought One feeling, one day at a time.